.com/free.
If you love the food at Villa Verde, and hey, who doesn't? Now Villa Verde makes it even easier for you to order takeout. Tell us about it, Jay.
If you go to myvillaverde.com, you can order online, and we'll have it ready for you to go. Plus, you can pick it up at either one of our locations. No waiting in line to pay, and no waiting at all. Just pick it up and go. With online ordering from myvillaverde.com or from our mobile app, plus even from our Facebook page. Villa Verde, now with 2 Greenville locations to serve you. Villa Verde, a platform for good.
A car wash experience like no other is here at the new Tommy's Express. You'll enjoy a gentle belt conveyor ride through our bright, inviting wash as luscious foams and soft cloths treat your car like new. After a final rinse, wax, and blow dry for a beautiful spot-free shine in just about 3 minutes, help yourself to our free vacuums and mat washers. We're Tommy's Express.
Tommy's Express Wash, now open on the corner of Greenville Boulevard and Red Banks Road in Greenville.
White Claw Hard Seltzer, a wave of refreshment. Crafted using our unique brew pure process. Made pure. Nothing tastes like White Claw Hard Seltzer.
White Claw Hard Seltzer, available in 5 fruit flavors, 2 grams of carbs, gluten-free, and 100 calories. Find it at whiteclaw.com. White Claw Hard Seltzer, nothing tastes quite like it. Proudly distributed by Coastal Beverage. Please drink responsibly.
E&S Hemp Company in Winterville is your premier CBD store. At E&S Hemp Company, they have helped hundreds of people just like you get relief from joint pain, anxiety, insomnia, and more by providing you the highest quality of CBD products available. E&S Hemp Company has a great selection of only the safest, purest, and most beneficial hemp-infused products available from honey, tea, coffee, candles, and more. E&S Hemp Company, Fire Tower Road in Winterville, and online at eshempcompany.com.
When a storm hits, you can count on Greenville Utilities. They put their emergency storm plan into action to restore power as quickly and safely as possible. If you experience an outage, call them toll-free at 1-855-767-2482. The automated hotline can handle a large number of calls at once, virtually eliminating busy signals, so help can be on the way as fast as possible. Remember, GUC's emergency hotline number is 1-855-767-2482.
The whole family's home. It's almost time to eat again, but you don't feel like cooking again. So close the microwave, put away that box of instant whatever, drop your spatula, pick up the phone, and get a Big Bo box delivered with 8 pieces of legendary fried chicken, fluffy buttermilk biscuits, fixins, and tea. Because no one ever said a home-cooked meal has to be cooked at home. Just tap your favorite delivery app for a Big Bo box at your front door. And it's Bo time.
Hey Birdland, Orioles 2021 single game tickets are on sale now for all games June through September at Orioles.com/tickets. Single game options are flexible and affordable with individual tickets starting as low as $15. You can choose from popular promo dates and fan favorite giveaways, including bobbleheads, t-shirts, caps, and more. Simply select your dates and purchase tickets now at Orioles.com/tickets. That's single game tickets as low as $15. Available to all fans now at Orioles.com/tickets.
At Jimmy John's, we don't make sandwiches. We make the sandwich of sandwiches. We use fresh veggies because we don't hate salads. We just feel bad for them. We make our sandwiches exactly how you want because you're the one who's eating it. And we bake bread all day, every day because stale bread isn't bread. It's croutons. Sandwich history is written by the victors. Good thing we have legible handwriting. Jimmy John's, the sandwich of sandwiches. Order pickup or delivery on the app.
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 and 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington. The following is an exclusive presentation of Pirate Radio, the voice of the pirate nation. Welcome to Pirate Radio Live.
You can paint this with purple!
Now live from the Pirate Radio studios in the heart of the Pirate Nation, here is your host, Clip Brock.
All right, welcome in to a Tuesday edition of Pirate Radio Live. Clip Brock here with you inside the Pirate Radio studios, coming to you today on Pirate Radio 92.7 FM in Greenville, 104.1 in Washington. We are on 1250, 930, available online at pr927fm.com. And you can watch the show on Facebook Live and on YouTube. Make sure you're subscribed to Pirate Radio TV on YouTube. You can check out the latest Pirate Radio podcast with Troy D, Billy Weaver, Brian Meador, and Brian Bailey. Coming up Wednesday, we will drop an all-new episode of Pirate Radio Trivia. Two of the brightest minds in Eastern North Carolina, Troy D and Jenny Shelton, going one-on-one in trivia. That is going to be fantastic.
I can tell you who the brightest mind of that one is. And it's not Troy D.
That is the voice of Billy Weaver, who we will introduce in just a moment.
Sorry, I had to jump the gun.
I figured. I set you up for it.
I couldn't stop myself.
That is going to be a showdown. You'll be able to watch that coming up Wednesday on YouTube and on Facebook Live. We have a huge show for you today. A lot of guests to get to. We got Weave here in the studio in hour one. We will talk to D.H. Conley, head baseball coach Jason Mills, coming up later on in this hour. They are trying to get a baseball game in tonight, and we'll have an update on the weather and what Jason Mills said earlier today in just a moment. We got Coach Mills around 3:45. We got RV, Ronald Vincent, around 4:15. We'll talk to both of them today on the show. In between that, at 4 o'clock, we'll talk to Steve Cotton. We'll begin our ECU football opponent previews and talk to the voice of the Marshall Thundering Herd, Steve Cotton. He'll join us on the show at around 4 o'clock. Stephen Igoe is in the 4 o'clock hour, and Gavin Williams will be live inside the Pirate Radio studios in the 5 o'clock hour. So we got a huge show today, a lot of baseball to get to on this Tuesday edition of Pirate Radio Live. We got Chan Man in Shirley's chair. Chandler, how you doing?
Doing good, Clipper.
You look more comfortable today, ready to go?
I'm ready to roll, baby.
Big dog Glenn Griffin's here, looking bright and shiny.
Yes, sir.
On a Tuesday.
Bright and shiny.
Hey, it's shined up over there.
It's a summer shirt, man.
I like it.
My granddad used to say, shiny like a brand new penny.
The big penny. Glenn Griffin joining us. You got any pennies? Did you like the pennies? The Hardaways back in the day? I like those.
I did like them.
I
liked the very first one.
I did too.
The very first one was nice.
Remember Little Penny?
Oh yeah, Little Penny.
Little Penny. Hey, Penny.
He was a marketing genius.
Yeah.
Whoever was in charge of his
Wasn't that a
campaign
Sprite was it a Sprite commercial?
Nike. That was
Nike.
That was Nike. Little Penny was Nike. It was voiced by Chris Rock.
Chris Rock.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
And Billy Weaver joins us. What's up, Weave?
Hey.
Owner, proprietor of Billy's Beach Breakfast, which last week on Facebook Live during Weaver's segment, we had more questions about that than we did sports. We'll see
you cannot beat food.
Yeah, it's undefeated.
It is. Yes,
especially in my life. And we'll talk about that too while Weave is here in hour number one. Billy, we've got a lot to discuss, and we'll start every day by giving folks a Cliff Godwin update. Unfortunately, I don't really have an update.
Are we moving on to the rundown?
We are.
No news is
officially beginning the rundown.
All right.
I guess so.
We need to get music
in
for
fact, no, you're right. The longer we go in this weave, the more I feel like obviously LSU might be waiting for one of these coaches that's in Omaha right now. Cliff is clearly still in the mix because he hadn't come out and said anything as far as I'm back at ECU.
Yeah.
So
and I think that's good. I think that's good for ECU right now. Like I said, no news is good news. And for those watching on YouTube and Facebook, if you just see me not paying attention to Clip and I'm talking, there is a big TV behind the camera that has Tennessee and Texas at the College World Series. This is an awesome job, by the way.
It's fantastic.
I don't know how you do it because it's, sitting here watching sports and then trying to concentrate.
When COVID, when we finally started to make a little return to sports, was it, I guess, whenever the NBA bubble was going on?
Last summer during the NBA bubble, we were killing.
We had playoff NBA games, Major League Baseball games, everything was on during the afternoon. It was awesome. And now you got Omaha, the NCAA tournament. Omaha! Anytime there's a sporting event going on in the afternoon, this job is fantastic.
We've got the Olympics coming up.
We'll be watching
I'm into that.
Sprinting and
can we get lines on that?
Absolutely.
I know. You know what you need, though? You need a tiebreakers wall. That wall at tiebreakers?
Multiple TVs.
12 more TVs?
I think there's 9? Is there... At least 6.
4 and 4, right?
I don't know. There's a bunch of them up there. But I've always said, man, if I had a big enough house and you could have a room with a wall like that with all those big TVs on it and have a different sporting event
mainly
on each
for
one.
Sundays.
NFL Sundays.
College
football
the
Saturday.
1 o'clock.
I don't know, though, but sometimes I get in there and I start,
I'm watching so much that I don't know what's going on in anything.
It is tough to find like the one you want to focus on.
Right.
Pay attention.
Right.
I agree.
So before we move on from Cliff Godwin, I thought it was good news, Weave, to hear that Mike Bianco's staying at Ole Miss.
Yeah.
Because, of course, if he took the LSU job...
there's the domino effect.
Exactly. And one domino was kind of kicked away there. So
is it a reverse domino effect?
It could be. Yeah.
I don't know. You just blew my mind. What does that even mean?
That now there's...
wait a minute. I guess I should put that on silent. I always forget that.
Oh, I thought that was the sound of my mind being blown. Reverse domino effect.
I'll put that on
there's
silent.
now more money on the table, theoretically, for Cliff if the top option in Bianco is gone.
Maybe. I don't know. I hadn't thought of it that way.
They would offer him more money than Ole Miss would have.
Yeah.
I mean, they obviously have more money to play with at LSU
than Ole Miss. Sure,
that's what I'm saying. So, like the idea that he would have taken the Ole Miss job, would get less money for that job than the higher paying LSU job.
Whoever LSU gets is going to be making a lot of money.
Yes,
that we know.
Yes.
All right, let's talk Omaha. Right now, Texas has a 4-2 lead over Tennessee. They're in the bottom of the third inning. How about Jack Leiter versus NC State last night? I guess I should talk more about the NC State pitcher than Jack Leiter. Is it Highfield? Was that the pitcher's name? He was dominant, and the Wolfpack get a solo home run. They strike out 15 times, but it doesn't matter. They got the only run of the game.
Well, and it was the second time that there were 15 strikeouts in a game, which I think at the time was a College World Series record of strikeouts. And Leiter, to beat that guy when he's got 15, I mean, he was on. He made one mistake, really.
Yeah.
But what does that say about the Wolfpack? They've beat 3, I think, top pitchers like in their conferences, like the ACC pitcher of the year, the
Cops from Arkansas,
and the Stanford guy that was the Pac-12 pitcher of the year.
Yeah.
And then Leiter, I mean...
And they've done all this on the road.
Holy cow, I know. They go on the road in the regionals. They go on the road in the super regionals and beat the number 1 team in the country, number 1 seed in Arkansas, at Arkansas, which, had they stopped there and then they lost 2 in Omaha, it's still, like, you did great.
Yeah.
Good job. Hallelujah. Right. But now they're 1 win away from a 3-game championship series.
You mentioned Leiter, and one thing I saw that was funny this morning... ESPN during SportsCenter this morning was showing nothing but Leiter highlights. And zero state highlights.
Yeah. And Al Leiter's dad.
And you know what?
Jack Leiter's dad.
You know what? Elliot Avent is saying, thank you, ESPN.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Because
his guys are being disrespected, and they see that, and they're like, you know what? We're going to go out there and continue to do what they're doing. I think they're
not getting hyped up. So that's good.
Right. You're not getting patted on the shoulder and saying how good you are. Look, and all the coach, he doesn't have to say much.
I mean, they
don't respect you. You've won 33 of the last 42 games you've played. You have beat some of the best pitchers in the country. Not some of the best pitchers in the country. The best teams in the country. Keep doing what you're doing. And they're going to get Stanford or Vanderbilt again because the winner of that team plays NC State again.
And I guess they don't play until Friday?
Friday, yeah.
Wow. So that is a long layoff.
And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
Right. Rest versus rest.
All that. Right.
So they could see Leiter again.
That's the thing, is because
or Rocker
with it being that far, when you've got Rocker and Leiter, of course
it'll probably be Rocker
in a best of 3.
Leiter went 120 last night.
Right. Yeah,
he's done for a while.
So that's the negative. If you're NC State, you want to get right back in the saddle, and especially if you have because when you have 2 pitchers like that and you can spread them out. Like you said, you can do that, but
and as someone who has not watched Vanderbilt baseball through the season, I watched them in the Super Regional, so all I know is Rocker and Leiter. I can't wait to see who their next guy is,
Sunday starter,
what they're like with that guy. Like it almost feels like a completely different team when one of those aces.
We've really only seen like 1 or 2. We've seen 2 guys out of the bullpen, I think, maybe
that Maldonado and
then is there one other guy? I know there's Maldonado.
They used 2 against ECU. 2 of the M's pitched against ECU.
Yeah.
So I guess tomorrow night it will be Vandy taking on Stanford.
And then the winner of that will take on NC State Friday for the right to go to if NC State wins, to go to the championship series.
They are in the catbird seat.
Yeah,
Mississippi State, Virginia tonight in the winner's bracket game. Right now, Texas has a 4-2 lead over Tennessee in the 4th inning. And I didn't know if I would keep watching college baseball after ECU lost. In past years, I haven't, but this year I've still kind of stuck around with it.
Me too.
I've enjoyed it.
And we've talked about this a lot before. That if you're a big ECU fan, a lot of times you're like, I'm not pulling for NC State for nothing. I'm not pulling for Carolina for nothing. I'm not. But in our instance, I pull for state teams. Like I went to East Carolina. I pull for East Carolina first and foremost. But if East Carolina's out of the equation, I like to see our state teams do well. And why wouldn't you want to see NC State go as far as they can? Because guess what? They're on the schedule all the time. And that makes that series even bigger and better. I like to see other teams that we're going to face and in-state teams be successful.
Well, to answer your question, number one, I don't like them. Number two, recruiting.
Well,
a couple of reasons.
I don't like their coach.
I have my reasons.
It's a personal thing.
I get you. I think
it's just because he looks like Jerry Reed.
Who's that?
Elliot Avent.
Who's Jerry Reed?
The guy
the bad guy. The bad guy from Waterboy.
See, you think of him from Waterboy. I think of him from Smoking the Bandit.
I know he's also from Smoking.
Now he's a good guy in Smoking the Bandit. I loved him in Smoking the Bandit, but he is the bad guy coach in the Waterboy. You're right,
and it just reminds me of Elliot Avent. I don't know why. Like watching the mannerism.
Never thought of that.
Watch the movie and then look at Elliot Avent, and the mannerisms are all there.
What's wrong with you, boy?
I almost feel like you're coming at it more from you sound more like a media guy than an alum when you say in-state teams.
Yeah, and I think there's part of that. I think there is.
But it's funny, like if it's App State or Charlotte, or if it's a non-ACC school, I'm right there with you probably.
Yeah.
But I find it difficult to root for those guys.
What about Virginia being an ACC school that's not a direct rival of ECU? They're still in it. Would you pull for Virginia?
I don't know.
I know we know what Bailey would say.
You know what? I'm struggling to find a team to root for other than who I picked to win the game, quote unquote.
Gotcha. Virginia money talks, baby.
So right now I'm a huge Texas fan, to be honest with you.
Virginia took Jaden Gardner from us, so we really can't deal
right.
with him.
Okay, now did they take Jaden Gardner, or did he decide to leave and he decided on them?
For beef reasons, we're saying they took him.
I can't hate Jaden, so I gotta hate
Right.
Although it's weird, I'm gonna be pulling for him this year.
Yeah, on a personal level,
for Virginia.
On a personal level, I want him to go to the NBA and be
Absolutely.
successful.
Well, I mean, it was the same thing with Dwayne Harris. When he played for the Dallas Cowboys, I told Dwayne, he was over to ECU, and I said, Dwayne, man, I hope you have great games. And when you play, which was then the Redskins, when you play Washington, I hope you have 2 or 3 touchdowns, but I hope you lose. And he looked at me, and it was the funniest thing. He goes, come on, man. If I score 2 or 3 touchdowns, we ain't going to lose.
And unfortunately, we saw that happen where he returned a punt for a touchdown and then got his free agency and went to the freaking Giants.
I know. It's like, come on.
He never wore a jersey that I felt like I could wear myself.
Raiders, definitely.
The Raiders hair jersey probably was.
Now, Giants, Cowboys, no.
Giants, Cowboys are rough. No. That's rough sledding.
Troy did. Why didn't Troy have a Bears Dwayne Harris jersey right now hanging up in the hallway?
Sure, that's true.
Oh yeah,
he played like 2 games for him.
That's a good question.
Okay.
Troy probably didn't know.
By the way, Troy versus Jenny Wednesday Pirate Radio Trivia. I should get Weave as the live studio audience for that.
Oh,
can I? And laugh.
That'd be awesome. I'd do it. I would so do that. Can I throw stuff?
Hey, why not? Why not?
That'd be awesome.
Just not
be in. It's gonna be in the studio, right?
Right here.
Right now.
Oh, can you imagine how over the top, crazy he would be if I started throwing French fries or anything in here?
Oh, he's freaking out about your Mountain Dew.
I'm sure he is.
On the coaster. We're good.
Thank you, Minji's Bottling Group and Pepsi for the Diet Mountain Dew.
It's funny that you mentioned
Billy brings his own sponsor.
I do.
It's funny you mentioned Troy because I have an idea coming up in July, Billy, of you and Troy.
July is my birthday, July 12th.
You and Troy.
Yeah, but it's one day. You can't take the whole month.
Why not?
July is my birthday.
He's doing like Sweet 16 stuff.
Jeez. Okay, we can't talk to him in July.
He expects a cake and a car, like the MTV Sweet 16.
Sweet 16. Glenn has an idea. I don't know.
So the idea is we'll do a trivia tournament in July.
I love that idea.
2-man team.
I love that idea.
You and Troy are paired up in the brackets.
Me and Troy?
You guys
Do
are
we
together.
love that idea?
Me and Troy are paired up together or against
You're
each
a
other?
team.
Together, you're a team.
Oh, hell no. Are you crazy? No.
But that's the reaction, though. That's
Oh, I
why.
get the short straw.
Yikes.
All right. First of all, I really want this to happen now. But if we could do this, I think it's a great idea, a 2-on-2 tournament. Who would be your choice as a teammate?
As a teammate. Probably you.
Well, I'm hosting.
Well, you asked me. You didn't say there were any parameters.
That's true.
Other than you?
Yeah.
I don't know. I bet Glenn would be great.
Not bad.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Chandler?
Nah.
Well, then you're gone now.
You need to
You have no self-confidence. You're out.
Nah,
You need to broaden your horizons to people outside of this room.
Ellerby would probably be a good one.
He probably would. Is Ellerby, do you have him on a team?
I have him on an F3 team, I think.
I need a sports egghead is what I need.
So maybe what we do is we
It's not all sports, by the way.
Oh, it's not?
There's going to be like some TV,
Geography.
movies, music.
Oh, that's
geography,
awesome.
History.
Yeah.
So what if we gave you one of Troy's kids, the smart one?
Yeah, I would take him over Troy. Yeah.
And then Troy gets the mischievous one on his team, and you guys meet up in the first round.
All right, we'll talk about this off the air.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
But if we do have a tournament, we would love for you to be a part of it.
Okay.
We'll figure out the details, the team.
Yeah, it's all in the works.
Yeah.
If you can get away from your month-long birthday party to join us.
Just if you give me Troy, it's got to be like a golf match, and I got to have some sort of handicap.
Oh, that's not.
I like it.
Weaver and Troy already have 3 points before we get started today.
Hey, it's no different than betting in Vegas.
That's true.
I
The
like it.
spread. Yeah, that's a
I
great
have to
idea.
have a spread.
All right, we have to talk about Sabre.
What? Oh, sorry.
Sabre.
I was sorry. It was a base hit.
Sabre, of course.
Tennessee just scored a run.
Ooh, 4-3. Peyton Manning loving it.
Oh, yeah. There's
up there
Peyton
in
in his
the arms.
Tennessee stuff.
Let's get an introduction to say, is it Sabre or Sabre, Chandler? Which one are we going with here?
Dunder Mifflin was recently bought by an electronics company named Sabre. They stepped in at the 11th hour, and they saved our asses.
All right, now East Carolina has put together Sabre, a.k.a. Sabre. This weave is an educational partnership with the Miller School of Entrepreneurship to prepare the student athletes for the upcoming name, image, and likeness legislation that is anticipated to be passed by the NCAA. So here, Billy, Sabre, if you're asking, and I know you are.
Yeah, I was going to say, what is the exact? I can't remember what that stands for.
Student, athlete, brand, resource, education.
Yeah, I'll remember that one.
So just go with Sabre.
Just go Sabre.
But
Sabre, how about that with East Carolina, with it being Sabre?
It's a perfect fit. During these sessions, student athletes will learn about the 4 E's.
Okay.
What are those E's?
Education?
Education on available resources.
Okay.
Evaluating existing brand. Do you have a current brand? No. Okay. Expanding entrepreneurial knowledge.
I love to hear Troy say that one.
And empowerment to grow brand. So that will be part of this program. Sabre. Come on home, Chandler. Sabre.
Sabre, it's time to come home.
This Sabre didn't work so well in The Office, if you're familiar with that show. Hopefully it works a lot better here with ECU. So this is news. States will now go to this NIL at different times, different months, where they introduce it and make it legal. So I heard this on a radio show, like New Jersey is planned to do this in like 2025.
Right.
So they're going to be like 3 years behind the SEC schools. So I don't know what that's going to mean for recruiting.
It's going to mean disaster. It's going to be disastrous
There
for
you go.
recruiting.
And
and you already can't compete with the SEC, and then you throw this in, and the SEC says, okay, we're going to go, come here, and you can actually make money off your brand and your likeness, and, we're going to educate you on how to grow your brand and all that. I mean, yeah.
I don't have the brain capacity to figure out how all this is going to go. I will say this. I've always thought that, like back when Carden and Hardy were here and they had 5 and 2 jerseys in UBE and they didn't have a name on the back.
Right.
But there's a reason that they sold those numbers, because people would buy Shane Carden and Justin Hardy.
Absolutely.
I've always felt like that they could get a cut off that and it wouldn't be a big deal.
Yeah. I think and especially if, let me tell you something. If I'm an athlete and my name is on the back of a jersey and it says Weaver and it's over at UBE or wherever being sold and I'm not getting a penny from that, I'm a little...
That's a lawsuit.
But
that's lawsuit material.
I don't like
but there's no name on the back.
There's no name on the back.
Right.
But it was just the number.
And that's the thing.
But there's a reason they use those numbers and not other
absolutely.
numbers. Yeah.
And there's a reason you always see 7. You know why you always see 7, don't you? The 7 on the ECU jerseys?
Zay Jones?
No, from 1907. That's when the university started. That was the why.
I always thought it was.
I thought it was Zay Jones.
No, it's because of the 1907 is when the university was started, and that's when you see a lot of the 7s.
Well, I don't want to buy
because that was way before that was way before Zay.
Yeah, and now
they would always see a lot of 7s.
I did not know that.
So and now I guess, like for example, we'll use Holton Ahlers as an example. Could a company bring him in as a spokesman, like on a TV commercial, and then pay him money?
Yeah,
that would be legal now, right? If they wanted to use him,
that's what I get from it.
Could a car dealership have him do a commercial?
Right.
And
I'm Holton Ahlers. Come on down and get
And the thing is you understand that because the head coaches are doing that. Head coach, Ruffin McNeil, we'd always see the cardboard.
Oh yeah, he's in every grocery store
holding a Pepsi in the grocery store.
Well, even now that
Cliff
Godwin,
there's
a Pepsi. There's a Pepsi thing now with the ECU baseball team, not just Cliff,
right?
But like a shot from the Conference USA championship.
Yeah.
With the baseball team, and those guys aren't getting any cut of that.
If Coach Mo could get paid for it, then surely our good athletes.
The thing that's really expensive is an Instagram post.
Yeah.
I mean, that's where most of this stuff came from because you had like cheerleaders who were making money on Instagram off of supplements.
Right. And there'd be an athlete with a YouTube channel that couldn't get ad money.
That was at UCF.
Right, yeah.
That was the kicker at
Yeah.
UCF? That had the YouTube channel that couldn't get the ad money?
Yeah, that's, I'm.
But they, like I was saying, they allow the other side kind of to do it, and that's where the dysfunction came from.
Right. And I agree with that 100%. If the coaches can sell themselves and they have media packages, and that's the thing is you look at a head coach, the head coach's salaries that they get paid from the university usually aren't that ginormous. It's the media,
the radio shows,
the coaches shows, the TV shows, the Nike contract or whatever.
They get an Adidas cut or a Nike cut or whatever.
And I mean, so that part of the package for the head coaches, that's why these guys are making $10-12 million a year.
It's no different than an NBA player or an NFL player where the salary is kind of like
it's the endorsements.
Their salary is their mailbox money.
Right.
And then the real money is outside of that.
That's right.
All right, I tell you what, we're in the middle of our rundown. Let's take a break. We'll come back. We'll have more with Billy Weaver, who's potential trivia partner.
Troy just gave me a stank eye, I guess, for talking bad about him.
Glenn, what are some of the all-time teammate fights over the years? Because we could have.
Kobe and Shaq.
Well, I was thinking of Latrell Sprewell when he choked down. Somebody. That's what I was thinking of.
That's a pretty good example there too. Buddy Ryan, fist fighting Kevin Gilbride.
I like it. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Let's take a time out. We'll come back. We got more. I have an unfortunate update.
I was going to mention that. Our next spot in the rundown.
The baseball game tonight. We have news on that, Rose Conley, and more when we return on Pirate Radio Live. Back with you after this.
Here in Eastern NC, still family owned and operated, we have the area's largest selection for outdoor shooting sports and accessories and are one of the nation's top firearm dealers. At Carolina Caliber, we have everything you need from hunting, home defense, and personal protection, including a wide variety for ladies and youth. We buy, sell, and trade. It's a time-honored tradition. Visit us at Carolina Caliber on Fire Tower Road in Winterville.
If you're recovering from an injury, getting back into sports, dealing with everyday pain or fatigue, then Kinetic Physical Therapy and Wellness can help you get back on track and live well. Kinetic has a saltwater heated pool, perfect for athletes with ankle and knee injuries that will allow you to start training and running sooner during the recovery period.
This is Dr. Shondell Jones, and you deserve to live well. Call us at 364-2806 or visit kptonline.com. Go Pirates!
North Carolina State Parks is proud to announce that they have partnered with the Hometown Strong program. Our visitor centers are now equipped with public Wi-Fi to help kids with school. Remote learning has become a critical public health measure in maintaining social distance and continuing to educate our young people. Take advantage of Wi-Fi and a hike at Goose Creek State Park or a day trip to the beach and access remote learning at Fort Macon State Park. For more information, visit hometownstrong.nc.gov.
Warren's Hot Dog Pizza, homemade lemonade.
Hey Pirate Nation, Warren's Hot Dogs 2 locations are open for business in Greenville and Chocowinity. Both locations have drive-through windows, so stop by today for hot dogs, pizzas, subs, apple and peach turnovers, homemade lemonade, and breakfast in Chocowinity, featuring homemade cheese, ham, and chicken biscuits, plus sausage dogs and more. Warren's in Greenville across from Ron Ayers Motorsports and in Chocowinity next to the fire department. Warren's Hot Dogs. Want some? Get some.
This is East Carolina head football coach Mike Houston, and I'm proud to announce that our ladies clinic is back this summer on July the 30th. This evening will provide a behind-the-scenes look at ECU football and a chance to meet the players, coaches, and their families. The evening will end with an entertaining dinner and social. Sign up today at MikeHoustonFootballCampsLLC.com. We look forward to seeing you there. Go Pirates!
Ahoy, mateys! It's Captain Jack Spare of R&R Tire Express. We're here to serve our pirate community by offering easy payments for easy ownership. For you landlubbers, R&R will install a new set of tires for just $20. $50 installs new custom wheels and tires. To learn more about R&R, stop by 3920 US 264 or rnrtires.com.
Do you find yourself hungry, but looking for some new and different options? Then the Bodega Market Cafe in Uptown Greenville is for you. They offer a full-service menu featuring breakfast, lunch, and dinner, also with a variety of unique vegan selections. Dine in or sit outside in their great outdoor dining area. Plus, they're always ready for pickup or delivery. Open 24/7 for your convenience. The Bodega Market Cafe, located in Uptown Greenville, across from the BB&T.
This is Stephen Igoe. You've heard from me plenty on Pirate Radio Live and perhaps have read some of my work on HoistTheColors.net. Now, get an extension of our in-depth coverage on the Hoist the Colors podcast. From game previews to immediate post-game analysis to emergency podcasts for breaking news, we've got you covered. A cast of guest co-hosts from fans, former coaches, and other writers join me for 2 podcasts weekly to break down all things ECU athletics. Subscribe to Hoist the Colors now on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or Google Podcasts.
This is Tim Doust, ECU Football Special Teams Coordinator, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 1 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour is brought to you by University PC Care, your local tech support experts for all your personal and business needs. Visit universitypccare.com to learn more today. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back to the show. You've worked hard to start your business and are working even harder to make it successful, and that's why it's important to have a bank in your corner when you need them. As the business world throws you curveballs, Select Bank and Trust is here to be responsive to your needs. Select Bank's team of local bankers can make local decisions and cares about you, the customer. Get the business services that are right for your business today with Select Bank and Trust. Bank local, bank select. Now let's head back into Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Brock.
Back with you on Pirate Radio Live here on a Tuesday. Clip Brock, Billy Weaver here in hour number 1 of the program. Chandler Honeycutt, the big dog Glenn Griffin here as well. And we were planning to get ready for a great baseball game tonight, between D.H. Conley and J.H. Rose. Some unfortunate news. Double B Brian Bailey texted me earlier, and I missed it, that Rose and Conley have been postponed. They will play Wednesday night at 7 o'clock.
Well, I'm okay with that because with Rose and Conley, it's huge, and what's on the line is huge, and I think it should be, they should play in front of as many fans as they can and in the best conditions that they can, so I'm good with that. I mean, I know everybody wanted to see him tonight, but I'd rather see on a nice night with a bunch of people out there rooting and having a good old time. So,
and we've a little bit about the a little bit, to use a Mark Lindsay quote. Thank you.
For sure.
About the media business. I have pre-recorded interviews with Jason Mills and RV. And I tell you what, we might punt those to Wednesday.
I would. Yeah.
And run them on game day.
When were you going to run them?
Today.
I'm here.
Well, yes, you are. What, for 3 hours?
No,
well, it's not your birthday yet. So.
No, it's not. No, it's not my birthday yet. How many days till my birthday? My birthday month.
Your birthday month.
How many hours till July 1st?
Oh man, we are getting there. We are getting there.
Yeah.
How about my grandma's birthday is July 4th?
Is it really? She's a boom boom baby.
Who? Well, what?
A boom boom baby.
Talk about my grandma. Maybe yeah.
No, that's a bada bang baby.
Maybe we'll save those for tomorrow. It's funny because my interview ended. The final words RV said was, "I hope we play." And he meant tonight. It's not going to be tonight. It will be Wednesday night at 7 o'clock. Coming up at 4 o'clock, we got Steve Cotton, the play-by-play voice of Marshall. We have South Carolina color analyst Tommy Suggs coming on Wednesday, to talk some Gamecocks football and working on Adam Witten from App State. So we are in that time of the summer where we start to look ahead to our upcoming ECU football opponents. Kind of funny, that week 5 on the ECU football schedule, ECU takes on the Tulane Green Wave.
Yeah.
Their play-by-play voice is Corey Glore.
Yeah.
Who, as I told him on Friday, doesn't know anything about Tulane football. So I'm going to give him a little time to study before we get him on the show.
Yeah, that's good. But just before we get into that, I do have to say that Marshall has always had one of my, if not top 2 or 3 favorite nicknames. The Thundering Herd.
It is a cool nickname.
I don't know why. I've just always thought that was very cool.
Well, it's unique.
Cool. It's very unique. There's nobody else. There's not, to my knowledge, there's not another Thundering Herd.
No,
is there in any?
Not that I'm aware of.
Like, I don't think there's not another Green Wave either, but that's not Thundering Herd.
It just makes sense for football. It really makes sense for football.
It's really cool. And Alabama, there's a reason. Do you know why Alabama has an elephant as their mascot?
No.
I think I knew at one time, but I forgot.
Re-educate me on
that. Well,
that.
back in the day, and I think it's back in the 2030s, somewhere long time ago, an Atlanta Journal Constitution writer for the Atlanta Journal-Constitution in Atlanta had written about a game, and he said about their offensive line was so big, and he said it was they rolled over the competition like a herd of elephant, and it just kind of took from there, and that's how they got Big Al.
How many nicknames came across because of a writer?
Right.
I feel like
it's a ton. Now, back in the day, and that's the thing, if you were a sports writer for a newspaper back in the day, you had tons of power.
You had control over the narrative.
No, seriously. Yeah. When the stuff that you said took hold, and there are a lot of places.
I'm pretty sure Georgia Tech is one of those. Like, there were a swarm of Yellow Jackets.
Yeah,
or whatever.
And so is St. Louis, the Billikens, because that started with, that was some kind of good luck charm or something back in the day. And there was a newspaper article written about that, and it kind of tied in somehow. I don't know all the particulars, but it kind of tied in, and that's how St. Louis became the Billikens.
Were you named after the Billy Can?
The Billy Can. The Billy Cans.
It is a weird looking creature, that Billiken.
Yeah, it reminds me of. It reminds me like of a little like a Martian or something.
Yeah.
It's got these weird pointy ears.
And such.
That also is unique and a cool name.
But what were we talking about? Football.
Yeah.
It's because of the Marshall football. But yeah, it's good. That is a series that should always run as much as possible. ECU and Marshall has just been, there's so much storied history, obviously with the plane crash, and with all the meetings between East Carolina and Marshall. I love that series, and I think it should be one that we have a long time.
And before I say this, relax, everyone. I want to play the ACC, the SEC. I want to play the best teams, but I would like to see Southern Miss on the schedule again.
That was a great rival game
in all 3 sports, and like baseball, basketball, and
get them back in hoops.
I'd like to see it.
Well, and I'm telling you what, Southern, that was always a very competitive series. There's some series that just mean a lot. Marshall means a lot to ECU. Virginia Tech means a lot. I mean, obviously, with what happened with the Virginia Tech football and the thing, there was some bad blood there. But that's a series that I think has to happen. South Carolina. Those are the South Carolinas, the Marshalls, the Southern Miss. Those are they're just built for ECU.
There's a kinship there between universities.
I agree. And it's not every one of those teams. Like, I'm good with not playing like UAB and FAU and FIU.
Yeah, West Virginia, even though like there's a famous game.
Absolutely,
versus
there was, and you know what? As much as I had talked about the fans at West Virginia and how nasty they can be, I loved going up to Morgantown and playing at West Virginia and playing in that stadium. It was rough. It was tough, and you got a lot of stuff, verbally thrown at you and physically
rough,
thrown
tough,
at
and a lot
you.
of stuff.
Right.
But it was just that series was kind of a perfect timing deal, and we got them that one Saturday. One Saturday, it was just perfect.
It went south a lot of times in Morgantown.
It did. And there were many times that I can remember pulling up in the team buses. We would always travel with the team, and it'd be offense on one bus, defense on the other bus, and then the support staff, which is what we were on the third bus. So pulling in the buses through the tailgate lots and stuff, you'd see a lot of fingers, a lot of beers thrown at you. I mean, but there was something about that was kind of cool. You were the hated, you were the bad guy coming in.
John Moody tweets, you'll get your wish for basketball, as he puts out an old John Rothstein tweet. East Carolina will host Southern Miss as part of its 2021-22 non-conference basketball schedule.
I like it. Let's get it back.
Yeah. All right, now let's just add them for a couple more, and we'll be good to go. Thank you for that, John. Why is it weaved that they're in the same state as we got this Tennessee coach?
Oh, he's about to get tossed.
He says, I'm going to LSU. Forget y'all.
By the way, we have a new ball game between Texas and Tennessee.
4-4 with Texas up to bat. Why is it that Morgantown is known as such a crummy place for opposing fans to go? Yet all I hear about Marshall is they have some of the best fans in the world.
They do. As a matter of fact, I have a story about that too. Leaving out of Marshall Stadium, Jones C. Edwards Stadium, I think it is.
Very cool stadium. Built down into the city, right by the river.
Very cool stadium, and I think it was one of the last games I had gone to at that stadium. We were leaving the stadium, and we were going through the tailgating lots, and Skip Holtz was our coach at the time, and their coach was on the hot seat. I can't remember exactly
who it was. So it was before Doc Holliday, I guess?
Yeah, their coach was on the hot seat, but I can remember some of the fans, they said, man, you guys played a great game. We'd won that game. Y'all played a great game, and one of their fans said, man, I wish we had your coach. And they were just nice. They were just great fans. Going in, coming out, they were like, thanks for being here. We love to have you.
I think Huntington is a very humble, hardworking town.
It's a white-collar town.
Yeah.
It really is.
Blue collar?
Blue collar.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Blue-collar town. That's what I don't know my collars. Blue-collar town. That's what I meant.
As Morgantown is more of a big public university town.
Well, they like to burn couches and
that's what I mean by big public university.
Right.
Like they just had 40,000 kids that like to party.
Yeah,
it's a
Mark
environment.
Snyder might have been that coach.
May have been.
I believe that was 05 to 09.
Yep.
Yeah.
So he was on the hot seat. Yeah, I think it was because they were not happy with their coach, and I remember the guy saying, "I wish we had your coach, man."
And a little surprising, we'll talk to Steve Cotton about this. There's a lot of stuff going on there. No more Doc Holliday, Charles Huff, their new coach. So we'll ask Steve about that. But also your old friend Mike Hamrick, no longer the athletics director.
Yeah, I saw that recently.
I guess moving into a different with a different entity within the university.
Yeah,
so we'll ask him about that coming up at 4:00. What else do we have on the rundown? Believe you're probably not watching too much NBA playoffs.
Nah, I hadn't really been, to tell you the truth.
Should we do the test that we did on Ellerby? Can you name the 4 teams remaining?
The Hawks.
Because they're kind of weird.
The Sixers
lost to the Hawks.
That's right, lost to the Hawks. Who are the other ones? Wait.
Tonight it'll be Suns.
The Suns
taking on the Clippers.
Right.
And the Hawks will play the Greek Freak.
The Bucks.
And the Bucks.
Yeah.
So that's who's left. This is a great exercise
to do. I just don't follow the NBA. I really don't. He's going to get tossed.
And look at this other guy. Tennessee coaches. Oh, dear. The fans.
Now the fans are getting into it. It's good stuff.
They have lost their ever-loving Rocky Top minds. And I think their whole bench is about to get tossed here.
Yeah. Got the assistant coaches behind them, and
he says, we're in the SEC, right? We're supposed to be getting all these calls.
That's right.
Do you know who we are?
Well, a Texas fan is going to say, well, he was out by that much.
I like it.
That was one for our viewers, our viewing audience.
Oh, yeah, sorry about that.
Throwing up the horns.
The hook 'em horns.
That's good.
So what are they saying here? It was a pitch inside.
Yeah, it was off the plate. Did he call it a strike? Wow.
He threw the book.
And he said F you and F you.
And F you. Wow. That's not even the head coach, is it? I'm pretty sure that's an assistant.
Oh,
he's
gone.
The
pitching coach.
Yeah, he's gone. He's out.
and he got ran.
Vitello did not get
There's
called.
the head coach, and he's wondering why, because he just said F you to everybody.
And, I don't know, threw the book on the field.
Yeah, threw the scorebook on the field and said F you to the home plate umpire, pointed to the first base umpire, said F you.
Look at the confused child. Did you see, like, Mommy, what are they doing? What are they saying?
I can't even imagine.
That's great stuff.
Dietz doing that.
That is.
Oh, I know.
Stuff.
I've never seen him get animated before.
A pitching coach getting that wild. That's crazy.
Cliff had a few choice words for the umps in Nashville.
And every right to have some choice words for him. That was just, I've had so many people come up to me and say, as a matter of fact, the guy came up to the food truck and he had an NC State baseball shirt on, and we kind of got talking about that, and he said to me, he goes, "Man, your guys got hosed." And that's coming from an NC State fan.
Yeah. I mean, you saw the way that Leiter and Rocker were called in their 2 games in Omaha.
That's what I said to him. I said it was kind of like the Jordan rules.
Yeah.
I mean, they're
that slider outside was being brought back.
Yeah. Did you hear the ump in the game Rocker pitched?
Yeah.
When he said, nice frame.
That ball's outside. That ball was outside. Nice frame. Yeah.
The ump's mic'd up. I like that.
Yeah, I like that too.
That's a cool thing. Yeah. All right, Chandler, real quick. What are the Hornets' odds to get the number 1 pick tonight?
The number 1 pick is a 1.8% chance. Getting the top 4 is at 8.5% chance. So you're telling me there's a chance?
Well, it happened last year, right? They didn't have much of a shot to move up and get.
They were projected to go like 11th or 12th pick, and then they ended up getting the 3rd pick. And got LaMelo Ball. The last 3 lottery picks for the the Panthers. The Hornets. 2018 was Miles Bridges. 2019 P.J. Washington, and then of course last year LaMelo Ball at number 3,
which was a good pick for them. And you would have never been able to convince me of that at the time.
I agree.
And you know what? I think for me, Daddy was so much in my head.
I haven't seen him.
I haven't either.
Which is why it was successful when he was Rookie of the Year, I think.
Right.
The Lonzo Ball experience was very prominent early on.
Right.
You know, that's what you were thinking you were going to get, and we just didn't.
And you know what? The people that know basketball knew what they were getting.
Yeah.
And because you would have never convinced me that was a good pick.
It took me forever. It took me almost a month to actually accept that pick.
He's a special talent.
He is. He's very talented.
I wonder what the conversations were like, if any, leading up to that process with LaMelo, with the dad, and the Hornets. Like, look, you can't be all in our stuff.
There's something to be said about when the owner is Michael Jordan.
Right.
I mean, he can, he can think he's, big balling and all that as much. You can't big ball bigger than Michael Jordan.
This is a guy that called out Michael Jordan to play one-on-one. And he's probably scared of him.
Yeah, but you know what? He backed off that pretty quick.
He especially when his son
now that he's got an opportunity to do it every day. Hey, show up to the arena.
He backed off that quick.
I bet MJ said, if you come in, I'll play you. If I win, you can never show up again.
That might be why we haven't seen them.
That's what I'm telling you.
There might have been a secret backdoor one-on-one game that nobody knows about.
Look, he wasn't wired. He was on a national television show and said that he could beat Michael Jordan one-on-one in basketball.
Yeah,
that was at the absolute.
That was at the peak of
the peak of ballism.
The baller brand.
Yeah, but he's a self-promoter, and that's what you do.
But I also think there's some sort of advisor to the Ball family, or like an agent that kind of said, "Hey, look, let's take a back seat
I think
here."
It could be the league offices. Like the league could come down and say, "Look, like this is a bad look for us. We'd like you to step back, not be so prominent."
With Lonzo, you went out of bounds several times.
Yeah.
If you're saying this is your best athletic kid for basketball, let's take a back seat and let's see how he does. And then he won Rookie of the Year.
Yeah. Yeah.
So. We've before you go, let's talk a little racing. I am so sick of Kyle Larson, mostly because he's on Troy's team and not mine. But I want to ask you about the other series that's going on with Tony Stewart, with Bill Elliott. Have you watched any of that on Saturday night?
No, I haven't.
It's on at kind of a bad time, I guess, Saturday night.
And I haven't at all.
I see stuff about it on Twitter, but they have a bunch of older drivers driving in, and I want to check it out. I just never think about it on a Saturday night. But I think that's been going on for 2 weeks now, this summer deal that they're doing.
Yeah, it's like a summer shootout kind of thing. Yeah.
Tony Stewart won in wherever they were. He said it was the first time he's been able to win there. He was fired up the other night.
Yeah. No, I haven't at all. Yeah, I've been kind of keeping with the NASCAR stuff. And like you said, Kyle Larson, man, he's on fire.
Killing it.
just absolutely killing it. But, I thought something, the thing on NASCAR.com and some of the NASCAR shows and everything that I've been watching, there's been kind of, everybody wants to throw out a poll question or something and get everybody's opinion. Will Kyle Larson win the championship? I don't think so. And the reason I say that is because drivers get hot. Athletes get hot. Those hot streaks don't ever last.
Yeah.
I mean, he's on a streak right now that cannot last.
Well,
There's
last
no
year
way.
this time we'd say, is Harvick or Hamlin going to win? And you'd say, well, yeah, definitely one of them.
Right.
Neither one did.
Now, also, this is part of the equation too. He's won 4 races, right? He still hasn't caught up to Denny Hamlin in the points. He's still 10 points behind in second place in the overall standings with Denny Hamlin.
Just nuts.
That goes to show you it's all about consistency. And although there's been so much of a premium now placed on winning, and that obviously with the winning stages and winning races get you more points, but it's still, I don't care what point system NASCAR goes with, the old system, the system before this one now, it's all about consistency, and Denny Hamlin's been very consistent.
I guess they're doing, we saw this last year with COVID when they were trying to make up races. They're going with the doubleheader this weekend. They're going Saturday at Pocono and then Sunday at Pocono. So 2 shorter races coming up this weekend.
Right. Yeah, it's going to be pretty cool. And speaking of Denny Hamlin, he's won 5 times at Pocono. He's got to be a favorite. Now, the odds-on favorite in Vegas is obviously who?
Larson.
But you know what? He's never won at Pocono. I mean, he's won the last 4 races, and he's hot right now, but that doesn't mean he's going to win at Pocono. The guys that win at Pocono have been able to show that they can win. I wouldn't go with Kyle Larson. Now, I mean, do you bet against him? It's kind of hard to, just because of the hot streak that he is on.
Yeah.
But he's never won at Pocono. Denny Hamlin's won 5 times there. The Busch brothers have won 3 races there. They've fared very well there. So if I had to put money on it, I'd go with Hamlin or one of the Busch boys.
All right, Billy Weaver joining us. We might see you very soon. We've already planned like a day at the beach around eating. It starts at Billy's Beach Breakfast, and then a little bit of time at the beach, and then heading somewhere else. But we want to check you out soon. Heard good things about it. Everything going good?
Yeah, Troy got his bacon extra crispy, like he likes it. So
made to order, you can request things. Like Troy's very picky.
That's really a high bar. I mean, if you're beating the Troy bar of crispy bacon.
Well, the thing is we don't serve a extensive menu. We have a smaller menu, and we do it right.
There you go.
I like it.
I
like the approach.
So, and we do breakfast sandwich. And the thing is you're down at the beach. You want a quick breakfast sandwich we're trying to get you on the beach or on the boat.
Well, there's nothing in the middle of the island.
It literally takes 20 minutes to get from Salter Path into Atlantic Beach, where there's a Bojangles. The other way. You got to go off the island. You got to go over the bridge. Yeah. Or unless you want to sit in Emerald Isle or Atlantic Beach and sit down in restaurant and stuff like that, and then pay $40-$50 for breakfast. Nobody wants to do that. Yeah. We get you in and out quick.
We've enjoyed it, man. We'll see you on the island soon.
I told Troy, as a matter of fact, while I'm here, I got to make sure I get a Pirate Radio sticker to put on the truck.
All right.
I've designated a place for just local stickers and stuff. People that
to put on the on the side.
Just to put on the side. Just to, cool. These are people that I care about.
Good deal. So, well, Troy heard what you said earlier.
There he is.
What a guy! He's going to give you one anyway.
Oh, I get 2 of them, just in case. Just in case I miss. Well, that's good because I can put one on the cooler. There you go.
Weave, thanks for hanging out, man.
Thanks
Enjoyed
for having me.
Hopefully, you can do this more often. Get you in studio.
Yeah.
We always love having you on Tuesdays. Let's take a time out. We'll come back, have more for you on Pirate Radio Live. We'll wrap up hour number 1. As if this call goes against Tennessee, we could see more coaches ejected. We'll have an update on that when we return after this.
Save lives, be a hero, and make $1,000 your very first month donating plasma at Grifols Biomat USA. At Grifols, it adds up fast. New donors can earn up to $1,000 in your very first month. It's the easiest way to make extra money. Start now at Biomat USA, 505 South Memorial Drive, Greenville. Find your donor center at grifolsplasma.com. Make up to $1,000 in a month and save lives now at Grifols Biomat USA. A better donor experience and better pay.
Here with Mike Mullis from Fixed NC. And Mike, you were telling me the other day, people ask you all the time, I didn't know you did that. What does that mean?
You know, anything that involves property damage repair, call us first. If it's your crawl space, you've got interior humidity issues, a water loss, your ice maker line breaks, obviously fire and smoke, everybody knows we do those, but anything that involves interior or exterior property damage, we're your repair experts.
Mike, how can everybody get in touch with you?
252-999-0001 or fixednc.com.
Hey Pirate fans, it's time to get that yard done right with the new John Deere mower from Quality Equipment. Our premium lawn care lineup is what every homeowner needs this spring. A John Deere will change the way you mow with easy-to-use attachments, effortless steering, and intuitive controls. Right now, save up to $700 on X300, X500, and X700 series mowers. Learn more at QualityEquip.com and get quality done right. Offer ends 10/29/21. Some restrictions apply. See dealer for details.
Hello, this is Talbot Green with Angel Oak Home Loans. Now's the time to take advantage of the opportunity to buy more home or refinance your current mortgage at historically low rates. The combination of our local team's experience and Angel Oak's wide offerings of products from standard conventional, government, and portfolio loans has something for most financial situations. For more information, call Talbot Green, Joanne Weir, or Wanda Hager at 751-2060.
NMLS 1719250, Equal Housing Lender.
You know texting while driving is dangerous. That's not new information. Yet most people admit to doing it anyway. Drivers are 23 times more likely to be involved in a car accident while texting. Know the facts and wait to text. The danger is real and it applies to you. Auto Owners Insurance. The no problem people. Information provided by Virginia Tech Transportation Institute.
This is Jeff Gibson with Town Insurance in Greenville. Call me today at 756-8300. Go Pirates!
What's the big deal? Where can you get pizza, bread twists, specialty chicken, and more for just $5.99 each?
Is it at Domino's?
He hands off hand tossed pizza and a marble cookie brownie. He's going!
There's a lot of variety on the radio and at Domino's too, where you can
Mix and match 2 or more. $5.99 each at Domino's.
2-item minimum. Pan pizza, bone-in wings, and bread bowls will be extra. Ask for this limited time offer. Prices, participation, delivery area, and charges may vary.
If you have family coming over this summer, the last thing you want is your air conditioning to not keep the house cool. Face it, the only thing worse than an irritable mother-in-law is a sweaty mother-in-law. So call Delcor to get ready for summer. For a limited time, put no money down and get 12 months same as cash when replacing an HVAC system. Keep your mother-in-law cool. Everybody will thank you. Go to DelcorInc.com or call 252-321-8868. Delcor, the service professionals.
This is James Greenleaf, the General Manager of Delcor Heating, Coolant, and Plumbing. If you've been holding off on replacing your AC unit, I urge you to make that decision now. The factories have warned all their dealers that HVAC equipment delays will get worse as demand exceeds production capabilities this summer. Don't wait until the peak of the summer heat to get your equipment replaced. Let's get your home ready now. We have great financing options available, including same as cash, no interest, and no payments for 12 months. Call Delcor at 321-8868 or visit us at DelcorInc.com. Delcor, the service professionals.
Pirate Radio.
Go Pirates! Go Pirates! Arr! Yeah.
The voice of the Pirate Nation. You're listening to Hour 1 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour is brought to you by University PC Care, your local tech support experts for all your personal and business needs. Visit universitypccare.com to learn more today. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Are you in outside sales and looking for an opportunity to increase your earning potential? CopyPro has been in Eastern North Carolina for over 45 years and continues to grow each year, and they need more sales professionals with a desire to potentially make a six-figure income. Do you have what it takes? Visit copypro.net today to submit your resume and learn more. Now let's head back into Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Brock.
All right, the Tennessee coaches have melted down. Now Tennessee starting to melt down.
Oh boy!
In Omaha, it is 7-4. Texas with the lead. Runners on the corners, 2 outs in the bottom of the 4th inning. Still a lot of runs to be had in this game, so certainly not over yet. But this has been a nightmare inning, which we saw an assistant coach, who I believe would be the pitching coach for Tennessee, get tossed And he definitely deserved it. He threw his
it's a pitch chart.
Yeah, he threw that kind of over the dugout railing. He then started pointing and calling the umps effing
F-bombs.
Yeah, blah blah blah. So
and then the head coach asked for an explanation of why his assistant coach got
What'd he do? What?
Come on.
What did he do? The head coach about got tossed previous to that. So there's just a lot of emotions right now going on. This all comes back to, I don't know how many of our listeners are familiar with the Barstool universe, but, we had Ben Mintz on the show, who's just a fantastic guy. Barstool has a reputation, whether it's rightfully deserved or not, but Ben Mintz almost doesn't fit in to the Barstool reputation because he is so nice.
He's such a good person.
And sweet and innocent. Yeah. And, but he right now, he's the college baseball guru. He is the guy that is hashtag growing the game for Barstool. He went to Ole Miss. He knows about college baseball, SEC baseball. Is from Louisiana, knows about LSU. Came on this show, talked a lot. He was a great guest to have on to talk college baseball. Well, his college baseball picks since the super regionals began have been awful. I believe it's something like 3-19, 3-20 overall right now. He has gotten other people on board that have lost a lot of money alongside with him. So he is right now the biggest joke going at Barstool.
But it's really because of the magic moment last night.
To the point last night where he said he did his video. Chandler, you can do a great Mincy impression if you'd like to break one out here, but Jack Leiter,
Jack Leiter's throwing a no-hitter here in Omaha.
Hold on, no. Before we get there, before the game, he said Jack Leiter is going to pull him out of the slump.
Oh, and he was drawing a line in the sand.
A line in the sand is what he said. This is it. It's all ending here. Jack Leiter, Vanderbilt, going to get me back on track. Then he is shooting a live video at the stadium.
This is unbelievable.
A live video talking about the performance. What a great pitching duel between
He's throwing a no-hitter.
And he mentions no-hitter. And right when he says it, ping!
You hear the ding, and you hear the crowd just go crazy. The guy videoing goes, he literally just hit a home run. He literally just hit a home run.
He hit a home run, as Mincy is saying. Jack Leiter's throwing a no-hitter. NC State wins 1-0. Another loss on the record for Mincy.
And this is how nice Mincy is, because the guy was like, you just cursed him. He said, oh, yeah. He said, I definitely just cursed him. No doubt I just cursed him. He's just such a nice guy. He's not going to argue. Anybody else in that organization, in that business, would be like trying to figure out a way to just kind of argue, and he's just like...
He's accepted his role as the Grim Reaper of Omaha.
Yeah. Yeah. And I was feeling Tennessee today, and they still could win, but I saw that he picked Tennessee. I had to reverse the course and go with Texas.
Oh, there was a rumble across Twitter this morning when he put out his picks.
Yeah.
Because do you fade Mincy, or do you go... Is it a reverse fade? How do you play this?
The thing is called fade Mincy parlay. So you don't know if you're trying to fade with Mincy or fade his fade.
You're fading his picks. He picked Tennessee.
Has he pre-faded himself?
Also, tonight, if you're curious, he took Mississippi State. So I'm going to be on Virginia against the Brandon Walker's Bulldogs.
I think that's why he took Mississippi State. It was to mess with Walker.
Probably so.
Yeah, it was on purpose.
All right, let's wrap up this hour. When we return, we will talk some football. Steve Cotton is the play-by-play voice of the Marshall Thundering Herd. He's going to join us next to give us an off-season update on the Herd, a Mike Hamrick update. We'll get to know their new coach a little bit and talk Marshall football. When we return, our 2021 ECU opponent previews begin right here on Pirate Radio Live when we return after this.
You've worked hard to start your business and working even harder to make it successful. And that's why it's important to have a bank in your corner when you need them. This is former ECU baseball player Ashley Capps from Select Bank and Trust, and as the business world throws you curveballs, we're here to be responsive to your needs. Our team of local bankers can make local decisions and cares about you, the customer. Get the business services that are right for your business today with Select Bank and Trust. Bank local, bank select, member FDIC.
I can't think of anyone who doesn't love a clean car, but how often do you actually go to the car wash? Does it take too long, or maybe it's just not a very nice place? Tommy's Express changes everything. Our wash is bright, inviting, clean, and fast.
I love the black conveyor belt. So easy to pull onto, much smoother ride, and safer for my car.
And when you join Tommy Club, you can wash as often as you like for one low monthly price.
I save money and time.
We're Tommy's Express.
Tommy's Express Wash, now open on the corner of Greenville Boulevard and Red Banks Road in Greenville.
Here with Melissa from ENS Hemp Company. Melissa, tell us how your products and services can help people.
Well, for over 2.5 years, the team at ENS Hemp Company has been helping educate our community on the many benefits of our products. Our customers have seen great success dealing with everything from stress, anxiety, fatigue, pain, and PTSD, just to name a few. You can come in today and our staff can help you find the best products for your needs. You can visit us at Fire Tower Road near Sam Jones Barbecue or enshempcompany.com.
Have you stopped doing your favorite activity due to chronic aches and pains? Let Eastern Physical Medicine and Rehab help. They provide regenerative injection therapy that can help with osteoarthritis, joint pain, carpal tunnel, and plantar fasciitis. Eastern Physical Medicine and Rehab will help you get back into the groove. Eastern Physical Medicine and Rehab, 2245 Stantonsburg Road, across from the hospital. Call 215-9294 for an appointment today.
Safety comes first at Greenville Utilities. Did you know that by itself, natural gas is completely odorless? As a safety precaution, a chemical is added to the gas that gives it a distinctive and unpleasant odor. This allows you to detect the slightest amount of natural gas both indoors and outdoors. If you smell a strong odor of natural gas in or near your home, you should immediately call Greenville Utilities. GUC maintains staff around the clock in order to provide immediate response to emergencies such as natural gas leaks. You can count on GUC to keep safety job number one.
The best place for delicious food and great prices is Familia. Familia has $6 lunch specials, a $10 pizza of the week, and every Thursday has $2 drafts all day. Sunday brunch is the best for food and family. Come and enjoy favorites like shrimp and grits, made-to-order omelets, French toast, and drink specials like $3 mimosas, beer mimosas, or $5 Bloody Marys. Familia, Fire Tower Road near Pitt Community College, and FamiliaNC.com.
Although innovative new resources such as digital media and social networks have grown in popularity, smart marketers recognize that printing is a mainstay.
We live in an age of computer hacking, scams, and fly-by-night businesses, so it's reassuring to consumers when they receive printed marketing pieces.
It exemplifies business confidence and conveys a high level of commitment.
It also fosters trust, which leads to engagement and ultimately brand loyalty.
When you're ready to grow your business, come to PIP, where business goes to grow.
Hey Birdland, watch the O's take on the Toronto Blue Jays June 18th through the 20th at Oriole Park. The first 15,000 fans, 15 and over, who attend the game Friday, June 18th, will receive a Cedric Mullins t-shirt. Plus on Sunday, June 20th, bring Dad to the ballpark and celebrate Father's Day. The first 10,000 males, 18 and over, who attend will receive an Orioles canvas beverage holder. Don't wait, spend your weekend at the yard. Purchase your tickets at Orioles.com/tickets.
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, W224EI Greenville, WDLX Washington, and W281CH Washington. You're listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. Save lives, be a hero, and make $1,000 your very first month donating plasma at Grifols Biomat USA. Start now at Biomat USA on 505 South Memorial Drive. A better donor experience and better pay. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back to the show. From sales to service, Greenville Auto World has all your vehicle needs covered. Shop all their inventory now at greenvilleautoworld.net. If you're always looking for someone to service your vehicle, Greenville Auto World has a full service and repair facility. Brakes, oils, changes, tires, inspections, and they can repair any kind of vehicle. Greenville Auto World across from Speedway at Bells Fork and online at greenvilleautoworld.net. Thanks to Tim Sutton and Jim Rogers, Greenville Auto World of Greenville. Now let's head back into Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Brock.
All right, Chandler Honeycutt and the producer chair today and the rest of this week, Glenn Griffin here as well. As we come to you, Hour 2 on Pirate Radio Live. Steve and Igoe are going to join us later on this hour. And then in Hour 3, We'll talk to former ECU ace Gavin Williams. Looking forward to this year's Major League Baseball draft. We'll talk about his career and what's next for Gavin coming up at 5 o'clock. Right now, we will begin our ECU football opponent previews for 2021. We'll talk some South Carolina football tomorrow on the show. App State coming up shortly as well, but we'll kick it off with the Marshall Thundering Herd and their play-by-play voice, Steve Cotton, who joins us once again here on Pirate Radio. We've talked to Steve a lot over the years. You've heard him a lot on From the Booth with his friend Jeff Charles as well, and he's back again today. Steve, welcome back to the show. How you doing?
Oh, doing well, thanks. Glad to be with you.
And I was talking to Jeff off the air, Steve. He reminded me how you guys kind of meet up there in Middle America during the summer, and it reminded me that I believe when we had you on the show last year to preview a game that unfortunately wasn't played between the Pirates and the Thundering Herd, you were actually with Jeff Charles, I believe, on his microphone talking to us.
Yep, I certainly was. We have not been able to coordinate and get caught up so far on this year's trip north, but he and I are less than an hour and a half away from one another, and every summer we do make sure we get together at least once in the great state of Michigan.
That's fantastic. Talking to Steve Cotton today on the Fixed NC Live Line. Steve, I guess an off-season of change for the Marshall Thundering Herd, and let's start there with the head coaching spot. It was a good 2020 record-wise for Doc Holliday and the Marshall Thundering Herd. Why the decision to not retain Doc Holliday as the head coach there in Marshall, Steve?
Well, I can't speak to the why. It went south, I guess, very quickly from the point that in early December, Marshall was ranked 15th in all of college football and was undefeated, and things were really going along. And then there was a game canceled because of COVID, because of an opponent, and I don't know what. And then Marshall had some guys, but really Marshall didn't have a whole lot of COVID problems, but at that point it hit on the offensive line, and you do that and all of a sudden the last 3 games of the year the offense was not able to do the kind of things it had been able to get to number 15 in the country. The defense was good all year long, including even in the last 3 games. Marshall won its first 7, then dropped its last 3, including the Conference USA Championship game and the bowl game. And so next thing you know, you lose 3 in a row to end the year, and you get to the holiday break, and all of a sudden the announcement was made that Doc Holliday's contract was not going to be renewed. And then in early January, the word comes down that the new coach is Charles Huff, who had just a couple of days earlier celebrated as a national champion. He was the running backs coach and assistant head coach to Nick Saban at the University of Alabama. So the change was made. The fact that you bring in a reigning national champion certainly caught a lot of people's attention. Coach Huff has been known for many years as one of the top recruiters in all of college football, and so that kind of opened the eyes again of the fan base and has people kind of excited to see what he's going to be able to bring in to Jones C. Edwards Stadium and what Marshall fans are going to get to watch in the years to come.
And Steve, we're certainly seeing some light at the end of the tunnel here when it comes to COVID and seeing crowds in stands and more face-to-face interaction. It's been kind of awkward, a lot of Zooming, a lot of virtual stuff going on. So have you been able to meet Coach Huff yet and get to know him a little bit before he coaches his first game this fall?
Well, yes, I've met him, and more than anything on the coaches tour, you know, the fundraising caravan that so many schools do, and so he is a dynamic speaker. It's easy to see why he has been such an effective recruiter. In fact, 24/7 Sports named him the top recruiter in all of college football last year. So, but that being said, and the fact that I have met him, I've not, if spring ball was still played under the COVID rules, and so they were practices closed to the media for the most part. We did have a spring game with a crowd in there, so got to see a little bit, but you also, in terms of style of play and everything, you have to figure that Coach Huff and any coach would do the same, played that one pretty close to the vest, since right now, first-year head coach, and the opening game being at the United States Naval Academy, why would you show them anything and give them any idea of what you're going to do? Right now, that's a big mystery, and to me, as much as anybody else.
ECU and Marshall will face off week 3 of the college football season. It'll be September 18th. We were talking in hour 1, Steve, about how much we like this series, and I'm assuming that feeling is mutual. There is, of course, a long-standing connection between Marshall and East Carolina, but also conference foes, and have played some good games, played a championship game. And is that the feeling amongst Marshall fans? Do they enjoy the football game with East Carolina?
Very much so, and I think part of that kindred spirit goes back to 1970 and the fact that the Marshall plane crash came on the way home from the game at East Carolina, and so you have two fan bases that kind of are drawn together because of the tragedy, and it then has grown since that time into some rivalry that included some really good football games. And I'm glad that the series has resumed, and I think far and wide the Marshall fan base is glad that it resumed since for the first time since the two teams were co-members of Conference USA.
And Steve, you take a look at Conference USA right now and the league as a whole, and it is a challenging league. Well, with Skip Holtz there at Louisiana Tech, with of course UAB and the resurrection of their program, what they've been able to do. You've got some quality teams there in that league. So I know Marshall always has a pretty good non-conference schedule, but the league is a little tougher maybe than you think at first glance.
Yeah, the perception, I think, nationwide is not as strong as the league really is. And you mentioned the resurgence of UAB, and that's an amazing story that people do know about. But for those couple of years when he was at FAU, Lane Kiffin turned that program from something that was pretty much moribund into a conference contender. And a lot of talent still there for Willie Taggart. You have a team like North Texas, which I think is one of the sleeping giants in Conference USA in all sports. It's a school with a big enrollment. You're close to Dallas and Fort Worth, and especially for football, what a recruiting area. So they had some down years, but they've gotten that turned around where they are a tough out. And so I think far and wide, Western Kentucky, Middle Tennessee, teams that might not have a lot of national cachet, but when you go play them, you better play a pretty good football game or you're going to get your tail kicked.
Steve Cotton joining us on the Fixed NC Live Line. It'll be Marshall and ECU going at it week 3 of the college football regular season there in Huntington. And Steve, let's talk a little offense, defense. Let's start with the offense. What is the quarterback situation with the Herd right now, and who are some of the weapons you're looking forward to seeing this fall?
Well, the quarterback situation kind of is Grant Wells. He was a freshman last year, not only the Conference USA Freshman of the Year, but the first-team all-conference quarterback, a guy who was a total unknown. The previous starting quarterback, 2-year starter, Isaiah Green, decided to transfer midsummer last year. So we thought that Grant Wells was going to be a potentially really good quarterback down the line, but you thought he'd be able to break him in a little sooner than that. But he was really good from the start, and so he is a hard worker. I'm sure that even though we didn't get to watch spring practice like I mentioned before, I'm sure he was making himself an even better quarterback, and it sounds like the coaching staff is pleased with him in the new system, whatever that system's going to be. So Marshall is in good stead right there. Now, we ended the year with Grant as the only scholarship quarterback on the team, and in the free agency era, the transfer portal era, we're still not sure exactly who might show up when you get to fall camp, but Grant is in there, and you're in pretty good stead right there. The depth is certainly a question. Again, only walk-ons were there behind him last year.
Talking to Steve Cotton. Steve, how about defensively? I remember one game in particular that I watched was Marshall shutting down Appalachian State last year on a 17-7 victory, and didn't see App State held down like that for any other games the remainder of the year. How about the defensive side of the ball as you head into 2021?
Well, Marshall was really good all season, and I think that it was a nationally televised game with Appalachian State early in the season when several conferences weren't even playing yet, so it came on prime time, and that was sort of Marshall's coming out party in terms of being a team that would make a run, being ranked ultimately in the top 15. But you lose a couple of guys, including Tavante Beckett, the Conference USA Defensive Player of the Year linebacker, who was a huge playmaker, probably the best pass rusher. Darius Hodge also declared early for the NFL. So a couple of holes there, but frankly, most of the key cogs are back, and I think people figure that that Marshall's defense is probably going to be one of the best, if not the best, again in Conference USA. The linebacker core, you have a couple of good young linebackers in Eli Neal and Abraham Beauplan. The secondary has a lot of talent back there, and again, we'll have to see how much of Marshall's style would be what you've seen from Alabama the last few years. The coach, Charles Huff, was the running backs coach at Alabama, so what is his defensive philosophy, or does he, we don't know his coaching style yet. Does he kind of let the defensive coordinator just take it and run with it? Lance Guidry, former head coach at McNeese State, and so we've got a lot of things to learn yet in terms of what the style is going to be, but I think the talent is there for the Thundering Herd.
Yeah, and that's a good point, Steve. A lot of unknowns heading into this year, but you do have a good known commodity there at quarterback, and a good defense that's losing a few players. So with all that being said, how do you think Marshall stacks up this year with some of those good teams you were talking about from Conference USA? Is the expectation to go back to a championship, be in another bowl game for 2021, or are there too many unknowns to say that right now?
Well, the hopes are certainly there for that, and you have to go out and do it like every team in America has to do it, but I think Marshall will be in all the preseason projections picked as certainly, if not the favorite to win the East Division Conference USA, to certainly be in the top couple there. So, yeah, you do that. You have the optimism that comes with a new coaching staff. I think the fan base is excited. I think the crowds will be good, certainly early in the year. If you keep on winning, they'll keep building from there. So that has, again, despite the fact that you got to do it on the field and prove it, I think a lot of people are really excited about what Marshall's going to have on the football field this year.
And Steve, with the news that there could be college football playoff expansion to 12 teams, and the way it was initially written that, the top 6 ranked conference champions will receive an automatic bid into these playoffs. That sounded like fantastic news for schools like East Carolina, schools like Marshall. In fact, I'm still looking to read the fine print, Steve. It sounds too good to be true, since we've been kind of left outside this entire time with the BCS and with the college football playoff. It still has to go through, of course, and there's still a lot of hoops to be jumped through. But when you heard that news, Steve, when Marshall fans heard that news, I got to imagine they were excited about it.
Well, sure. There just seemed all those years to be no chance. If you're not in the Power 5 or whatever, or, the Notre Dame or Brigham Young possibly, or Boise State, but there just really seemed no path to get there. And now somebody's going to get a chance. It might only be one team out of the group of 5 conferences, but at least that is out there. And you will have somebody stepping onto the field and have a chance like everybody else to, knock somebody off and play again, and maybe knock somebody else off and shock the world. So that was not a possibility for so many years, and it does feel good. And if it holds up and goes through, like I think most people think that it will at this point, that finally there is that opportunity, as slim as it might be, to get somebody out there. And that team is going to be the favorite. Other than you will root for your team, but then everybody will root for that team that comes from the group of 5 and loves that Cinderella, just like we've been able to enjoy in the NCAA basketball tournament and all the way through. And Marshall knows better than anybody else right now. When you get the chance, who knows what might happen, since the Thundering Herd won the NCAA men's soccer championship this year.
That's right, yeah.
So, you get hot, you make things happen, and who knows? At least now you get to dream the dream.
Steve Cotton joining us. Steve, a couple more before we let you go. I was just curious with Randy Moss and Chad Pennington, Byron Leftwich, some stars there from Marshall, and I guess Byron Leftwich is pretty busy during the football season as he is rising up the coaching ranks. But how often do you ever see those guys around Huntington? Those big stars from years ago.
Certainly and like you mentioned, Byron during the fall is not able to show up at too many Marshall football games over the years, but he has made some off-season appearances. They all have made off-season appearances. Chad Pennington has been probably the most public with all of that. Randy Moss, interestingly enough, you hear about him after he was there and gone. He keeps it kind of quiet, does a lot of things for the youth. That's kind of his thing. Mm-hmm. He makes sure that the kids of the area are taken care of, and it's quiet for the most part until he's gone, and then you start hearing the stories about what he's been there and done. So, those guys have been involved, and that's been a big focus of Coach Huff and his staff. Marshall added a couple of positions for some administrative assistant kind of things, and hired Mike Bartram, a Marshall alum and a longtime NFL player, a long snapper for many years, and a tight end as well, but a snapper for the Philadelphia Eagles and other teams, and Doug Chapman, a running back with those Chad Pennington teams in the 1990s, played a bit in the NFL as well. They are on staff, and a big part of what they're doing is like community involvement kind of things, and also making sure that they're keeping in touch with all the alumni. So even more so than in past years, you're going to have reunions of all those former teams, and Coach Huff wanted to make sure that all of those folks are involved even more than they have been in the past.
Yeah, that's great. That's a great way to build and sustain a successful program. Steve, final one for you. Another connection with ECU and Marshall is Mike Hamrick, former AD here, and now I guess the former athletics director there at Marshall, as he is moving on, I guess, to another entity there with the university. So what's the latest on the AD situation there and Mike Hamrick at Marshall?
Well, there's a longtime chief of staff, Jeff O'Malley, is going to be the interim AD. Mr. Hamrick's run as the Marshall athletic director is through the end of June. So then the transition takes place. Jeff is the interim guy who's had a ton of experience both at Marshall but around college athletics, and we will be just fine with him running the show. It's an unusual situation in that the Marshall president announced, Jerry Gilbert, that this is going to be his last year. He's retiring at the end of next year, and so a lot of kind of moving parts in the whole situation. But Dr. Gilbert, when it was announced that the Board of Governors was not going to renew Mike Hamrick's contract as the athletic director, Dr. Gilbert said, well, I want him still on staff, and he created an assistant to the president position where Mike is going to be focused in the next year on raising money for Marshall's long-awaited and hoped-for baseball stadium, a project that Mike had gotten on track, and then, like everything else, when COVID hit, everything got shut down. So they're trying to get that fast-tracked, and Mike's done so many great things in building Marshall facilities, including the new soccer stadium, and we saw what that meant to Marshall, the national championship for the men. So we are really hoping that things go well there, and that baseball stadium starts to appear in the near future. The hope is that Marshall will have a home baseball stadium, really for the first time in school history, for the 2024 season.
Gotcha. All right, Steve Cotton joining us. Steve, it sounds very, familiar to us here at East Carolina. There's a lot of change over the years, of course, with the players, the coaches, administration. One constant is Jeff Charles, and the constant there in Huntington is Steve Cotton. Steve, going into your, is it 26th season as the voice of the herd, 29th overall, is that right?
Yep, you've got it right.
Wow.
5 in the books.
Awesome. That's fantastic. Well, Steve, we always enjoy talking to you here on Pirate Radio. We'll talk to you again in September, the week of, and preview this matchup between Marshall and East Carolina one more time. Thank you for your time today, Steve.
Sure thing, Cliff. Appreciate it, and have a good one. Talk with you again soon.
Yes, sir. You do the same. There's Steve Cotton, long-time play-by-play voice of the Marshall Thundering Herd, and just talking to him there is very strange. They ended the season with 3 straight losses, but had a lot of success. We're in the top 15, and very strange to see Doc Holliday let go there at Marshall. But Charles Huff got people excited there, and we'll see what they can do for an encore coming up in 2021. Let's take a time out. We'll come back. Stephen Igoe set to join us on the Fixed NC Live line. We'll get a Cliff Godwin update from Igoe. It was a big football weekend. Beast of the East going on, a lot of recruiting going on. We'll get the latest on ECU football recruiting. That and more when we return on Pirate Radio Live here on a Tuesday. Back with you after this.
Do you suffer from pain, anxiety, or sleeping issues? Eastern Healthcare has a solution for you. Eastern Healthcare is the premier CBD store with retailer quality products to help with any ailment you might have. They carry nationally recognized brands such as Curative's Delta 8, CBD Distillery, and Charlotte's Web with a wide variety of delivery systems.
This is Adam from Eastern Healthcare. Come visit our store at 2245 Stantonsburg Road across from Vidant Hospital or call 227-4199. Eastern Healthcare. Wellness starts here.
There's nothing more important than protecting your family. Fire ants can cause painful allergic reactions and even death. Protect your loved ones at home where you should feel the safest. Visit pesttechofgreenville.com to learn of our once-a-year treatment to guarantee you stay fire ant free. Tested and proven effective by your Eastern North Carolina exterminating professionals at Pest Tech of Greenville. Mention the crying baby for an extra 10% off.
For the latest from the world of golf, tune in every Saturday morning from 8 to 10 for the Golf Shop Radio Show, presented by GolfKnickers.com, the world's leader in traditional golf apparel. Hosts Mark Greenhelge and Matt Blanchard talk golf from tee to green and everything in between. If you like golf, you're going to love Golf Shop Radio. Before you tee up, drop on in. Welcome to the Golf Shop.
Okay, let's just try not to embarrass ourselves and everything will be fine.
Yeah, sure, totally. Is that a Pepsi Wild Cherry?
Oh, no. Please, not here. Not here.
Too late. You know something, Steve? Flavor Mania's about to run wild.
Oh, not Flavor Mania.
Pepsi Wild Cherry's about to drop a flavor suplex right into your pie hole. It's gonna hit your taste buds with a top rope elbow of flavor. It's gonna be delicious. It's gonna be refreshing. It's gonna throw your Wild Cherry loving brain right through the announcer's table.
Oh, I can't take you anywhere.
Flavor Mania doesn't need your permission, Steve, because the world knows that nothing is gonna get between Pepsi Wild Cherry and that flavor championship belt. Are you ready to get wild?
Oh, please don't.
Come
get
on,
wild.
Steve. I said, are you ready to get wild?
Seriously, does this always have to happen when you drink Pepsi Wild Cherry?
You better believe it, brother.
Pepsi Wild Cherry. Now available in zero sugar. That's what I like.
UBE and PirateWear.com are proud to offer the Pirate Nation its largest inventory ever. Brand new Adidas is arriving daily, along with Under Armour, Columbia, and Russell Athletic. UBE is loaded with cargo, and new items are being added daily to PirateWear.com. Be sure to check out our children's store, The Crow's Nest, for all of your young pirates. UBE and PirateWear.com, an ECU tradition for 50 years. Go Pirates!
This is
East Carolina head football coach Mike Houston, and I'm proud to announce that our ladies clinic is back this summer on July the 30th. This evening will provide a behind-the-scenes look at ECU football and a chance to meet the players, coaches, and their families. The evening will end with an entertaining dinner and social. Sign up today at MikeHoustonFootballCampsLLC.com. We look forward to seeing you there. Go Pirates!
Chico's Mexican Restaurant is the home of the best margaritas. Grab your amigos and head to Chico's every Tuesday for the Gulp of Mexico, a huge 46-ounce lime margarita for only $6.99. On Thursdays, relax and enjoy half-price pitchers of Chico's house margaritas. Choose from lime, strawberry, blood orange, raspberry, or peach. For Mexican food and fun, it's got to be Chico's Mexican Restaurant in downtown Greenville and online at chicosrestaurant.com. Chico's, where the fiesta never ends.
This is Coach Steve Shankweiler, offensive line coach for East Carolina University football, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. Save lives, be a hero, and make $1,000 your very first month donating plasma at Grifols Biomat USA. Start now at Biomat USA on 505 South Memorial Drive. A better donor experience and better pay. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back to the show. Did you miss a show on Pirate Radio? Listen to all of Pirate Radio's archived local programming by subscribing to us on Apple Podcasts. Subscribe today by going to the podcast app on your iPhone or Apple device and search for Pirate Radio Audio Archives. Now let's head back into Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Brock.
Back with you on Pirate Radio Live, Hour 2 of today's show. Coming up in Hour 3, Gavin Williams will join us inside the Pirate Radio studios as we will talk to the big righty a month ahead of the Major League Baseball draft. Talk about his career, the big starts he made this season and over his career, and also what lies ahead for Gavin Williams. That's on the way at 5 o'clock right now. We'll head out to the Fixed NC Live line and talk to Stephen Igoe from HoistTheColors.net. Igoe, how you doing today?
Doing good, Clip. How about yourself?
I'm doing all right. Still enjoying the baseball, actually. I didn't know if I would be here watching this after ECU was eliminated, but I have been logged in to Omaha, and there's been some fantastic games, including the best of the best maybe last night. Both Vanderbilt games really good for different reasons. We saw more offense in their first game of the College World Series, and then last night it was a pitcher's duel. And I know you texted about it, a 2 hour, or tweeted about it, a 2 hour and 30-minute game, whatever it was, 35-minute game with some great pitching, some clutch at bats, really some clutch defense, I guess more so than at bats. But it was a great game, and NC State, got to give them credit, came out with a 1-0 win last night.
Yeah, I'm with you. After ECU lost out in the Super Regional, I was kind of torn on whether or not I wanted to keep watching the World Series, but I feel like this year, more than most, I've watched, as much, if not more, than previous years, and, a lot of that, I've watched pretty much both of the full Vanderbilt games. I don't know, just because I'm looking to see how they do after beating ECU, but there's some pretty good star power. You've got, a local team in NC State, so I think there's a couple of different reasons. Some other intriguing teams like Tennessee, even though they're not faring too well as a first-time and a long-time participant. But, no, I mean, I'm sure a lot of Pirate fans are pained by NC State's success, but you got to tip your hat, man. I mean, they have earned their way. Nothing has been given to them. They went to Arkansas, took 2 out of 3, and probably the toughest place to play in America. Of course, took down Arizona in the first game, and then, had to win last night 1-0 probably to beat Jack Leiter, even though his stuff wasn't as electric as when he faced ECU. I say that, and he still struck out 15.
Yeah.
You got to give NC State credit. I mean, they're not deep, but they have really elite top-end talent, and as long as they stay in the winner's bracket, they are a legitimate threat to win it all, and at this point they are. I mean, they are in the winner's bracket. Somebody's got to beat them twice to make it to the championship, so they're in a pretty good spot. They're sitting well.
And they don't play again until Friday, right, Igoe? So a long layoff for the Wolfpack. They'll watch Stanford and Vanderbilt go at it coming up on, I guess, Wednesday and get the winner of that game. Right now, it is Texas adding another run. It is 8-4 Longhorns as they are beating Tennessee. Have you watched this game, Igoe? Did you see the animated Tennessee coaches earlier in the game? One got tossed.
Yeah, I saw some getting some work done, and I saw Aaron Fitt tweet about it. I think he disagreed with it, but I don't know. I mean, I've watched Tennessee a couple times this year, and that's just kind of their bravado. Like, they just play like that with a lot of energy, and they aren't afraid to get mouthy.
Well, they take after their head coach, right? He seems like that guy.
Yeah, that's how he has been all year. So, I mean, they bat flip, and we talked about it a lot on your show in the past. Like, I think it's good for the game, but they almost try to take it and push it to the extreme. Just some of the stuff they do, but it is what it is. I mean, looks like they're about to go 0-2, barring a comeback, and it'll be interesting to see what happens with Vitello and LSU as far as some speculation there.
Yeah, I kind of wanted to get there with you. I guess we don't have any updated Cliff Godwin news at this hour, Stephen, but I don't know. Have you been following the publications, the insiders on who are the lead candidates right now for the LSU coaching job?
Definitely, I think you got to give credit to LSU for running a pretty tight search. I've perused the LSU 24/7 site. I've obviously kept in contact with our sources here, but it's been hard to get concrete information. I mean, there's been the report, of course, that Bianco and Cliff Godwin interviews in Alabama and Birmingham on Thursday, and that seems pretty legitimate, but nobody has really pinpointed who they're targeting at the College World Series. I mean, there's been reports that the Tennessee coach, the Arizona coach, and Vanderbilt's coach are all candidates, but some have even speculated Brian O'Connor from Virginia could be in play. So it's just LSU is running a pretty tight search, and it definitely feels like Cliff Godwin is the backup plan at this point. I think if he had already said no or taken his name out of the running, we would know by now. There would be some sort of public statement. But to this point, we're just kind of sitting and waiting, I think, for LSU to make the next move. And probably it's some of these teams losing out so they can actually interview these coaches. But I think they're pretty confident, or at least somewhat confident they can land when in Omaha. Otherwise, why delay the process?
It seems like, Stephen, kind of to your point there, that the names that have gotten out have not been their top candidates, or maybe even serious candidates at all, with the two early names and then Bianco and then Cliff Godwin. And we don't know, you're right, we don't know who exactly they're zeroing in on in Omaha, but maybe it's a good sign that Cliff Godwin's name kind of is in the public, because that means that he will not end up being the coach at LSU if it goes along with what we've seen the rest of the way with this coaching search.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, every name that's going to come out has not ended up being the guy, but the thing that will concern you if you're an ECU fan is that all those names that came out, there was shortly a report afterwards that so-and-so will not be the guy, or Bianco has signed an extension, etc. So at this point, we have not heard that from anybody surrounding the Cliff Godwin or ECU camp, which means to me that he's still in play. And, to me, Coach Godwin will not be the type of guy to be hanging around as some sort of backup plan. So I don't know what LSU has told him, or if he's trying to leverage something or what from ECU. But it definitely feels like he's still in the mix. Otherwise, we would have heard something definitive by now that he's either out of the running or has not been offered, which I don't think he's been offered, but just some sort of definitive clarity.
Stephen, we saw a coaching change within ECU baseball a couple years ago with Dan Rozelle taking the Kentucky job and Jason Dietrich coming in. Do you expect, at least as we sit here mid to late June, that the staff with Dietrich and Palumbo is going to remain the same if Cliff Godwin remains the head coach at ECU?
Yeah, I personally do. I think as long as Cliff Godwin is the head coach, I don't foresee a change there on the assistant staff. I mean, as far as I know, there's always been rumors about Palumbo potentially getting some head coaching interest. I have not heard anything definitive at this time about that. Dietrich is the West Coast guy. I want to say somebody was mentioning Cal State Fullerton pitching coach opening to me earlier this offseason, just kind of speculating about Dietrich. But I don't think he's going to go from West Coast to East Coast after a couple of years in a top 15 program back to West Coast. But who knows? I mean, to answer your question, I think if Cliff Godwin returns, it's pretty status quo.
All right, let's switch gears, talk a little football. I guess Beast of the East happened over the weekend. You had some great notes on Hoist the Colors for your VIP subscribers. Also a Hoist the Colors VIP chat on Monday where a lot of football was being discussed. And I think we've had the big time, the wide receiver commit. Was that a big time get for ECU that happened over the last day or two, Igoe?
Yeah, Brock Spalding, he's been kind of a top guy for basically well over a year. He's held an offer since May of 2020 for the 2022 class, and just been a guy that I've kind of kept in touch with since that point. And then, of course, ECU's been recruiting him. And it almost seemed like from the start of this year that ECU was the obvious place for him. It just seemed like a natural fit. They've kind of told him he can come in and not be the next Tyler Snead, but reprise a similar role, kind of a slot receiver, can also play outside probably if needed because he's got really good ball skills and can jump and go get it. But really talented player out of South County High School in Northern Virginia. They played Oxford Smith in the state championship this past spring. He had a great year. He's had over 2,300 receiving yards the past 2 years combined. So had Duke, Maryland, a couple other schools throughout the process. So really talented kid. I think he'll come in and have a chance to play right away. So they've got their first two commits of the 2022 class. The cycle's kind of starting a little later than normal just because of the pandemic, but they've got a huge recruiting weekend this coming weekend. Probably going to land, I would say, a handful more in the coming days, and I think that now that this thing will get rolling, you're going to see a lot more commitments pop up in the next couple of weeks.
So a big one coming up this weekend, according to Igoe. I was going to ask were there any other commits or offers with the Beast of the East tournament going on with all these teams in Greenville, but it sounds like another big recruiting weekend coming up this week. Although Igoe, I know a few of the guys out there that were competing over the weekend. Culture, who's the kid that you said played well against J.H. Rose? You were all over that guy.
Yeah. So Maury High School is a pretty loaded high school in Virginia, and really. Their 7-on-7 team, they come down basically for the Beast of the East every year, and they're really impressive. They've got several Division I players, and it was interesting to see Rose and Maury kind of go head-to-head and get after it. But they have a receiver that ECU's offered, and that's on ECU's board. And, it was funny to see him really make a ton of plays, and then Michael Allen was playing for Rose, and it's interesting that I didn't think he would play. He had his knee kind of bandaged up, and it was, he had left the baseball team from what I was told. But they were running around playing, participating with the team a day after his commitment to NC State. So that was kind of semi-awkward as he was doing that on the Daddy Fickle Stadium turf.
Did you see interaction between the coaches and Allen at all, Igoe, the ECU coaches?
I did not. I mean, granted, there was like 600 prospects out there, and probably like 30 Division I level players, but I did not see any personal interaction. Maybe that's part of the reason he went ahead and announced it, so he didn't have to come to ECU and like pretend like he was still recruited by the hometown school. But from what I heard, he just obviously felt comfortable at NC State, and I think he just wanted to get away from Greenville for college. I mean, ECU did everything in his power to try to keep him here. They made him a priority. But for whatever reason, it seems like the Rose standouts tend to leave Greenville and East Carolina, whereas lately, of course, the Conley guys have ended up staying home.
Well, I mean, the Conley people overall are better than Rose people, just generally speaking.
I agree.
We say that as Conley Vikings. Unfortunately, Igoe, there's going to be a lot of eyeballs on future Pirate, currently Conley Viking, Dixon Williams tonight, and D.H. Conley, but that game will not be played tonight. They're going to play 7 o'clock on Wednesday night. And that should be a fantastic crowd and a great baseball game. I got interviews already in the can with Jason Mills and Ronald Vincent, and we'll run those on Wednesday's show. But that's going to be quite a showdown. Igoe coming up now Wednesday night at 7 o'clock.
Yeah, and it's probably best that they delay it. Just you don't want to get started, pause, that sort of deal throughout the evening. But man, Rose Conley, I grew up going to many of Rose Conley baseball games, including I remember a playoff game in Guy Smith Stadium. That was a huge one as a kid. So it's definitely the best rivalry in Pitt County in baseball when those two programs are going good. RV is a legend. Coach Mills does a tremendous job year in and year out. And, yeah, going to be a lot of talent on the field. Dixon Williams for Conley, I just continue to get rave reports about this guy. I know that you had Mills on recently to kind of discuss him, and he compared him to Bryant Packard. And the fact that he's hit 10 home runs in 16 games this season, and including clutch home runs like a walk-off against Clayton. Clearly, he's got a knack for the dramatic, and he's going to be a dude. So I think he's continued to improve. We'll see what position he plays in college, but he can definitely hit. So I know a lot of Pirate fans will be excited to see him.
Steven, usually around this time when it comes to pro sports, you're starting to get ready for off-season, the off-season workouts and training camp next month when it comes to the Broncos. But the Mariners have won 4 in a row. They're 2 games over 500. I guess you got to watch baseball a little while longer to bridge the gap to football, right?
Yeah, the Mariners swept the defending American League champions in a 4-game series. So that was I was not expecting that. They've been exactly who I kind of hoped they would be. They're such a young team. Like, I knew that they're not going to be a playoff team, but I just wanted them to be competitive and fun to watch. And it's frustrating when they get no hit and swept by the Tigers. But then when they turn around and they go on the road and win some series and then sweep the Rays, including 3 walk-off wins and a walk-off grand slam on Sunday to cap it off. That's just what I'm hoping for this year. They're not a playoff caliber team right now. Maybe in the next year or two. I just wanted them to bridge the gap for football season selfishly and for the state of the franchise, just to have some success, build some confidence, get some young guys going, and kind of put it all together in the next year or two. So I'm pleasantly surprised, and I will take it any day of the week. If they finish 81-81, I will take that too.
And speaking of baseball, we'll have more baseball to keep up with this summer as Malcolm Gray. The list is complete. 2021 Pirates Summer Baseball. You can find it at ECUPirates.com. We'll keep tabs on what everybody's doing. I go with Carson Wisenhunt, of course, with Team USA. Cal Ripken League has a couple guys, Cape Cod, Agnos, and Moylan. 4 guys in the Coastal Plains League and 8 players in the Valley League. So ton of Pirates that are coming back to the 2022 ECU baseball team or are playing summer baseball, woodbat baseball.
Yeah, there's so many young position players that didn't necessarily play a big role that probably need the reps. And, also some pitchers fall into that category too. But Jacob Starling, I saw he hit a home run last night. One of the guys that probably compete for second base next year with Connor Norby on most likely to the draft. It's a great opportunity for those guys. We talked about it with Alec Burleson before, what he did one year after playing apparently as a position player as a freshman. So, and he kind of built off that. I'll be interested to see how much Carson Wisenhunt actually pitches for Team USA. It's obviously a tremendous opportunity to get in front of scouts and kind of pitch on a pretty big stage. But, he did have some arm soreness this year, and his innings count compared to when he made 1 appearance as a freshman was a huge jump. So I would think that they're going to be very careful with his workload over the summer.
Let's keep an eye, Igoe, on Riley Johnson. I know you think he's going to end up being a really good player here at ECU. He is going into, the off season. He's in the Cal Ripken League. It's starting to bring up some memories of another former Pirate outfielder. You mentioned Alec Burleson there, who was like the Babe Ruth of the Cal Ripken League a few years ago. So maybe Riley Johnson might be that guy this summer. We'll keep an eye on him. Steven, anything else going on we need to know about before we let you go?
I actually was at the football offices earlier today interviewing Coach Houston, Mike Houston, for our Hoist Colors podcast. Just published that. So get your off-season fix. We kind of ran over the roster, did a little bit of everything with Coach Houston on the Hoist Colors podcast network, I guess you can call it, or whatever you want to call it.
Wow, you got your own network now. Way to go.
Yeah, we're just making up things as we go along. So, but no, that, and also we're running a special this weekend ahead of the big recruiting weekend. So if you want to learn more about Hoist the Colors and what we do from the recruiting side, this will probably be the biggest recruiting weekend, at least until the South Carolina game. So we'll have all the scoop. Check that out. We'll run a special later in the week for new subscribers.
Igoe, appreciate it, man. I tell you what, you want to knock out an ECU football position preview, do quarterbacks on Thursday?
Let's do it.
Let's crank it up for 2021. Position previews are back. We'll talk ECU quarterbacks coming up Thursday with Stephen Igoe from Hoist the Colors. Igoe, we'll talk to you then, man.
All right, guys. Have a good one.
You too. There is Stephen Igoe, Hoist the Colors. Let's take a break, come back. We will wrap up hour 2 and get you set for hour 3 of today's Tuesday edition of Pirate Radio Live. We got to open up the booty bag today. And we got a good one for you. A shrimp taco lunch or Hungry Pirate. Pick your fave. Grab a shrimp taco lunch or a Hungry Pirate on Pirate Radio. You can be a winner of that coming up in hour 3 of today's show. It's all ahead on Pirate Radio Live. More to go after this.
White Claw Hard Seltzer. A wave of refreshment. Crafted using our unique Brew Pure process. Made pure. Nothing tastes like White Claw Hard Seltzer.
White Claw Hard Seltzer. Available in 5 fruit flavors, 2 grams of carbs, gluten-free, and 100 calories. Find it at whiteclaw.com. White Claw Hard Seltzer. Nothing tastes quite like it.
Proudly distributed by Coastal Beverage.
Please drink responsibly.
Weekends are made for A.J. McMurphy's. Start your Sunday fun day at A.J.'s. A.J.'s is now serving brunch from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. and a build-your-own Bloody Mary bar. Enjoy your weekend with live music on Friday night and Saturday night with no cover charge. And you can catch all of the MLB and ECU baseball action on A.J.'s TVs. See you this weekend at A.J. McMurphy's, Turnberry Square at Bells Fork, and on Facebook, Instagram, and Snapchat.
This is Martin Truex Jr., and as a NASCAR Cup Series champion, I love one-stop shopping. When I need fresh tires or fuel during a race, my pit crew takes care of everything. Off the track, I have an Auto Owners Independent Agent. They handle all my insurance in one place: car, home, life, and business. Get your own pit crew and find a local agency with Auto Owners Insurance.
This is Brian Smith with Town Insurance in Greenville. Call me today at 756-8300. Go Pirates!
Ooh, look at all that Parmesan cheese on that papadilla. Our freshly folded flatbread filled with juicy meats and melted cheese now has a crunchy, toasty outside. Now that was Parmesan. Order today at papajohns.com.
Hey, Pirate fans, order the new Parmesan-crusted papadilla for only $7. The new Parmesan-crusted papadilla is an MVP move for game day or any day. Place your order online at papajohns.com and sign up for Papa Rewards. Papa John's, the official pizza of the ECU Pirates.
Hi, this is Jeff Charles, and welcome inside the booth. Local boy makes good in the big league. The story of Country Joe is next.
The Pirate Radio Podcast.
Former Pirate receiver Larry Shannon.
We just had one goal in mind as we went to the Liberty Bowl in 1995, and that was to win. Coach Logan had this slogan of unfinished business, and that was kind of our motivation all year. And I just remember that game. Offensively, we didn't play very well. Obviously, Stanford had a good defense as well. I remember our defense just carrying us and pulling us through and making the plays, to get that big victory for the program.
Listen to every Pirate Radio podcast now by visiting our podcast channel and subscribing in Apple iTunes or SoundCloud. The Pirate Radio Podcast is powered by White Claw Hard Seltzer, proudly distributed by Coastal Beverage.
Country Joe West has umpired more Major League Baseball games than anyone in the history of the national pastime. Joe set the record last month by umpiring his 5,000 376 games. Joe was born in Asheville but grew up in Greenville. He played football for the Pirates before transferring to Elon, where he is in that school's Hall of Fame. A true character in a world where characters are going the way of the dinosaur, there's never a dull moment around West. He is a singer, songwriter, with an appearance at the Grand Ole Opry. He's performed with Mickey Gilley and Merle Haggard, and was a pallbearer for Boxcar Willie. He'll be 69 in October, with 43 of those years spent as a Major League Baseball umpire. Another record. He's done it his way. Country Joe West, a true Eastern North Carolina legend. Come on back again next time, and we'll visit inside the booth.
Warren's Hot Dog Pizza, homemade lemonade.
Hey, Pirate Nation, Warren's Hot Dogs 2 locations are open for business in Greenville and Chocowinity. Both locations have drive-through windows, so stop by today for hot dogs, pizzas, subs, apple and peach turnovers, homemade lemonade, and breakfast in Chocowinity, featuring homemade cheese, ham, and chicken biscuits, plus sausage dogs and more. Warren's in Greenville, across from Ron Ayers Motorsports, and in Chocowinity next to the fire department. Warren's Hot Dogs. Want some? Get some.
Pirate Radio.
You're listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. Save lives, be a hero, and make $1,000 your very first month donating plasma at Grifols Biomat USA. Start now at Biomat USA on 505 South Memorial Drive. A better donor experience and better pay. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back to the show. Do you need custom t-shirts, apparel, or promotional items for your business, organization, or event? Keep it local. Print it local with University Sportswear. Contact them today at universitysportswearenc.com, the official sportswear provider of Pirate Radio for 18 years. Now let's head back into Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Rock.
Just got a text from Stephen Igoe, and it says, Chandler Honeycutt is an Eastern North Carolina legend. So congratulations on your status there.
Well, thanks,
man.
Stephen Igoe.
Yeah.
That's an honor.
High praise. Update from Omaha right now. Texas leading 8-4. They have a runner on second, 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th inning as they try to stay alive. Loser goes home. Winner will stay alive to take on the loser of tonight's matchup between Mississippi State and Virginia. So that's what's going on in Omaha. Glenn, tonight NBA playoffs, game 2. Once again, the theme of these NBA playoffs has been stars being out. Tonight it'll be Kawhi Leonard out and Chris Paul out for the Clippers and Suns, respectively. Clippers are a 4.5-point underdog. That number has gone down since we talked to Nadeau yesterday, I guess because of the Chris Paul news. What do you think about Game 2 tonight? Do the Clippers rise up and tie this series, or do the Suns continue to dominate at home?
I think the Clippers thing is they get down 0-2. I mean, they've got down 0-2 in every series. So they
remind me of who they've played.
But they also had Kawhi when they were down 0-2
in the second round.
Yeah, lost away, won at home. They were down at home 0-2 before beating Dallas.
Yes,
2 on the road.
They've had the 0-2 thing.
Huh? Okay.
Every series.
So the script says they lose tonight.
You take Phoenix tonight.
Also, another trend for the playoffs this year has been that old heads are kind of starring for the playoffs. Chris Paul has been really good with the Suns. Paul George is filling in for Kawhi Leonard.
Is he an old head?
Who, Paul George?
Yeah.
He's verging on old head status.
Yes.
If
he's not, he's almost there.
He's borderline.
Okay. But no, it's been exciting to see a lot of these older players, especially Chris Paul. Hopefully he can get back soon. I'm assuming he's getting over the COVID virus. I think he's in safety protocols right now.
There was a Shams tweet earlier that he was joining the Olympic team, and then immediate correction that he was actually not joining the Olympic team.
Oh, I saw that he was committing. I also saw Jason Tatum. This was about almost a week ago that he committed.
Did I see Kevin Love?
Kevin Love committed today.
They're thin on bigs.
Wow.
They're thin on bigs, and he can shoot. He can space the floor in the international game.
I forget that Kevin Love still plays basketball.
Is Tyler Zeller busy?
Cody, you can maybe get Cody.
Yeah. Tyler Zeller is not busy at all.
Tyler Zeller's probably fishing, maybe.
We could get both of the Zeller boys in there.
Supposedly they're dental
Are
big.
you out of your mind?
If Kevin Love can go, then Zeller can go.
I think it's the name.
I mean, who do you get?
I just gave you two choices. You need more?
No, I'm saying it realistically.
Over Kevin Love, anybody.
Well, I mean,
Roy Hibbert.
like Anthony Davis is hurt.
Charlotte
So
Hornet,
your
Roy
premier
Hibbert.
big-
JaVale McGee. That is a serious.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Honestly, as a lob threat and rebounder, he's fine.
Like Tyson Chandler. I'm naming guys that might not be playing anymore.
I think you are. But see, and the thing now with the NBA is a lot of guys are secretly foreign almost. Like, you think a guy like Patty Mills would play for the American team, but he plays for the Australian team.
Then it's not a secret. We know.
No, I'm saying, but I was thinking of big men like a Clint Capella.
Like
will
Dikembe
play.
Mutombo. A lot of people think he's from, New Bern, but he's not. Honestly, I almost asked you where Clint Capella was from, so I see your point.
Right, exactly. I was thinking about that. I was like, is he American? But
I mean, his name's Clint. He could be from Aden, for all we know.
I think he is a foreign player that would play on a foreign team.
So we're going to get crushed by foreign bigs in the Olympics. There, you heard it here first.
All the good bigs are on foreign teams.
All right, let's wrap up this hour. When we return, Gavin Williams, former ECU pitcher, the ace, joins us inside the Pirate Radio studios. I need to either raise my chair really high or lower his.
I don't think it can go that high.
I know. Chandler, can you lift my chair?
Just hold it the whole time, the whole segment.
Like,
Gavin might be able to he might be able to hold you like this.
Can you lift my chair and Glenn feed me grapes during the show?
Negative, Ghost Rider.
Negative. All right, fine. We will talk to Gavin and make you a winner coming up in hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. That's on the way after this.
The Pirate Radio Podcast.
Miss Amanda Houston. We got to go up on stage and we're standing behind Mike and all the players and just how excited they are. And so he's holding Reed. And at this point, Reed is really little. The announcer says, your daddy did good, right? And Reed just is staring at him. And Mike goes, can you say go Dukes? And so this little voice finally goes, go Dukes. And the whole crowd goes wild. It was probably one of my favorite moments.
Listen to every Pirate Radio podcast now by visiting our podcast channel and subscribing in Apple iTunes or SoundCloud. The Pirate Radio Podcast is powered by White Claw Hard Seltzer, proudly distributed by Coastal Beverage.
The convenience of Pitt Greenville Airport is waiting just outside your front door. Service is back, so you're connected to destinations worldwide through flights from American Airlines. Plan your next trip. Book your flights today at flypgv.com or aa.com.
Ready to travel and take a trip this summer? Avoid the long check-in lines and congestion at the big airports and fly local at PGV. Fast, convenient, and close to home, PGV has recently added more American Airlines flights. Book today at aa.com. PGV, where the pirates fly.
The Tauber River Bandits are back, and this year we'll have a full season, and all fans are welcome this year. Come watch some of the best collegiate baseball around with over 20 Division I players on this active roster looking to compete at a high level. We have a family-friendly atmosphere, awesome stadium, food and drink specials, plus the coldest beer on the East. Come do something different with the family this summer with the Tarboro River Bandits. 29 home games to choose from. Tickets available at the gate or online at TarboroRiverBandits.com.
Your power's out. There's a water leak. What do? For these and other utility-related emergencies, you need service, and you want it fast. There are 2 things you can do to get the quickest response if you're a GUC customer. First, you can call the hotline at 1-855-767-2482 and report any utility-related emergency. That number is also on GUC.com. Or second, you can give GUC your phone number. The hotline process is quickest when their account records have your current phone number. Service you can count on. Greenville Utilities. University PC Care has been the Pirate Nation's go-to IT expert since 2006. They thank you for your continued support and trust during these trying times. Many services can be done remotely and free pickup and delivery is available. As a Dell business partner and Apple authorized service provider, you can count on University PC Care for all your personal and business tech support needs. To make a remote appointment or to bring in your device for service at their Greenville or New Bern locations, call 558-1280 or go online at universitypccare.com.
Hey, Pirate Nation, Big Ed Watkins here from Ed Watkins Marine. You use the internet to shop for clothes to cars, so why not use it to shop for boats? Get your best price now at Ed Watkins Marine. We are located in Lake Norman, but we will deliver anywhere in North Carolina, from offshore center consoles and bass boats to just cruising or fishing the lakes of the intercoastal waterways. We have something for everyone. Go online now at Ed Watkins Marine and see our selection. Stick with a pirate and shop Ed Watkins Marine for all your next boats.
At Jimmy John's, we don't make sandwiches. We make the sandwich of sandwiches. We use fresh veggies because we don't hate salads. We just feel bad for them. We make our sandwiches exactly how you want because you're the one who's eating it. And we bake bread all day, every day because stale bread isn't bread. It's croutons. Sandwich history is written by the victors. Good thing we have legible handwriting. Jimmy John's, the sandwich of sandwiches. Order pickup or delivery on the app.
Save lives, be a hero, and make $1,000 your very first month donating plasma at Grifols Biomat USA. At Grifols, it adds up fast. New donors can earn up to $1,000 in your very first month. It's the easiest way to make extra money. Start now at Biomat USA, 505 South Memorial Drive, Greenville. Find your donor center at grifolsplasma.com. Make up to $1,000 in a month and save lives now at Grifols Biomat USA. A better donor experience and better pay.
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 and 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington. You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. Do you need custom t-shirts, apparel, or promotional items for your business, organization, or event? Keep it local. Print it local with University Sportswear. Contact them today at universitysportswearenc.com. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back to the show. When your AC needs repair or replaced, call on the reliable service professionals, Delcor Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Go to delcorinc.com or call them at 252-321-8868. Delcor, the service professionals in Greenville, North Carolina. Now let's head back into Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Rock.
Alrighty, Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. Got a great hour coming your way as former ECU ace Gavin Williams joins us inside the Pirate Radio studios. Also, we will make you a winner, either a shrimp taco lunch or Hungry Pirate. Which one do you want to pick today, Chandler? We got to pick one or the other.
I'm a big Hungry Pirate fan.
Let's go Hungry Pirate. We'll give you a Hungry Pirate for tuning in to today's show. We'll give that out later on this hour. Chandler Honeycutt, Glenn Griffin here. And once again, Gavin Williams joining us in the Pirate Radio studios. Gavin, thanks for coming down, man. How you doing today?
Pretty good. Can't complain at all, really.
I had Matt Bridges and Cam Colmore in on Friday, and I think they said they were headed to the beach this weekend. I asked them, was it like weird not long tossing and I don't know, working out and doing all those things? How about for you, as you kind of plan for the MLB draft, what is your day-to-day like when it comes to baseball right now?
Well, last week I took last week off a little bit, so now this week I'm gonna get back into working out and tossing a little bit, so hopefully I'll have a little bit of time on my hands.
Yeah, a little more free time maybe than normal than you would. And we got a lot to talk about with you, Gavin. I guess we'll start with what's next for you and this draft process, which you've been through twice already, right? Out of high school and last year.
Yeah, I have been through it twice, so now it's just going day by day since it's a later draft. So,
and that's a great thing. I remember the Pirates were about to play Texas Tech in a super regional. Evan Krasinski was going to get the ball, and it was the day of the draft, and you want to make sure you're there for the phone call, but you also want to be focused on the game. So it's fantastic, I think, for you players, right, that they did move that date back?
Oh, yeah, most definitely.
Gavin, so what have you talked to teams? Will you talk to teams? How does that process go from, like, today leading up to the draft? How does that work?
I have talked to a couple teams, but since I have an advisor, I'll just leave that up to him. Once he talks to them, he'll call me, and then we'll talk back and forth.
I read an article. So Tampa Bay drafted you out of high school. Is that correct?
That is correct.
How close were you to maybe jumping to the pros then and not being a Pirate? Were you always coming to ECU, or was there a chance you wouldn't have came?
I had my mindset on ECU the whole way. So
you were here 100%.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
And then the process last year, which if you had a number low enough, you would have been drafted, correct? You set it high for a reason. You wanted to come back here, and if people wanted to match that number, you might have gone off. But you could have been drafted last year, basically, if you wanted to, right?
I could have, but the number wasn't there. So.
Yeah. How much this year, you start the season with an injury, and you come back from that, you have that 10-0 regular season, just a fantastic year. Like, what does that do you think, to your stock? How much did your stock go up in 2020 coming back and pitching for the Pirates? Or 2021, I should say.
Hopefully it went up a lot. I don't really know how much it went up, but hopefully a lot.
What's feedback saying? End of round one, round two? What do you think?
At this point, I really don't know. That's something my advisor knows, not me.
Do you care? Like, does that? I mean, it's got to be cool to say, "Hey, I'm a first rounder," or does that even enter your mind? Does it bother you at all?
I mean, when that point gets here, it's going to be pretty cool to say.
Yeah, no doubt. Gavin Williams joining us inside the Pirate Radio studios. So draft day coming up. Is it end of July, mid-July?
I want to say July 11th through the 13th.
Okay, so mid-July coming up, and we'll hear Gavin's name call. We should hear your teammate Connor Norby and maybe a few more Pirates as well. And we'll talk about your time at ECU. And in fact, let's go back even before that, Gavin, coming up, playing high school ball. And I met your dad, who I was telling you reminds me of like people I grew up with, coming from a farmer family. Just kind of a cool, laid-back dude. Was easy to talk to. But he told me a couple days, he said that you started pitching relatively late. Like, I would imagine everybody being drafted in the first round of the draft as a pitcher probably got off to an early start. That wasn't the case for you. When did you really start focusing on pitching?
I'd say probably sophomore year of high school, really focusing on it. But I also still loved to hit at that point.
Yeah,
hitting was my main thing I loved.
How much of a bummer was it not to have a bat in your hand at ECU?
Honestly, not that bad.
Yeah,
because especially how hard everybody throws nowadays.
Right, you'd rather be on the mound than in the batter's box.
Most definitely.
We had Bridges batted 1,000 this year, I believe, 1 for 1, right?
Yeah, I could have hit 1,000.
And Cam was. He said the one thing that rubs him the wrong way about Cliff Godwin, he said he was going to get in the bat and never got up there. So I don't know if he made that promise to you.
No, he never made that promise.
They were going to keep you on the mound. So you said you were a catcher before you really got into pitching?
I was a catcher. Probably wasn't that good, but I was a catcher.
So what led to the pitching? Did you find out, hey, I can throw 100 miles per hour? How did you begin pitching?
I always threw hard, so I got on the mound one day, hit 90 in a tournament, and ever since then, think that's when I became a pitcher.
And it's more than just throwing 90, throwing 100. You got to develop other pitches. So at what point, Gavin, I don't know if your coaches at the time or whoever you were working with said you gotta come up with some other pitches. At what point did that start beginning for you?
Probably around the time sophomore year of high school. Always had the travel ball coaches saying that I'm gonna need to develop off speed pitches.
What are your go-tos, Gavin, outside of your fastball? What other pitches do you have right now, and what other pitches do you hope to add to your arsenal here?
Well, right now I have the slider, the curveball, and the changeup.
And you feel comfortable with those, running them out there anytime during an AB?
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Gavin Williams joining us. So Gavin, what about your recruitment to ECU? Who else was looking at you, and were there any other options on the table for you coming out of high school?
Out of high school, I had here and then UNCW. Went on a visit to UNCW, didn't really like it. Then I came here and I just fell in love with the place. I felt like I was at home. So ever since I came here, I knew this was the place for me.
That's awesome. And part of the Pirate family, once a Pirate, always a Pirate. It was really cool, Gavin, the regionals and the atmosphere. You finally got to play in front of those fans again. And I called it, an ECU reunion with just all the parents, all the families, all the fans back together again. And it really is, more than a baseball team. It's a family atmosphere at ECU, would you say?
Oh, yeah, I would definitely say that. I think the people in the jungle really make us feel like we're at home.
Yeah, it's a great home field advantage, and it's a fantastic thing to have that place rocking like it was during a regional. So, remind us of your relationship with Mackenzie Gore, Gavin, and how often do you stay in touch with him?
Me and Mackenzie are best friends, I would say. We have a snap streak like 4 years long, so we stay in contact every day, I'd say.
That's awesome. And I just saw Wander Franco is playing in his first Major League game tonight. He is the number one prospect in all of Major League Baseball. Saw a list today. I think Mackenzie was 5 on that list, if I'm not mistaken. And his day is coming pretty soon, right?
Yeah, I would hope so.
Yeah, and he's going to be playing for a pretty darn good team there with the San Diego Padres. That is an Eastern North Carolina. Gavin, now that you've been in Greenville, you can see the Little League and the high schools around here. Conley Rose going to play for the state championship tomorrow night. That game got postponed today, but even the area you're from produces a lot of talent. Just a great baseball area, right?
Oh yeah, most definitely. So you got a boy named DJ Hers. He's playing in the Cubs organization, so he's doing pretty good down there in Myrtle Beach with them.
How close are the I'm sorry I don't know the geography, but the Bentons, and how close are they to where you?
That's about 45 minutes.
Okay, so somewhat the same area.
Yeah, Sarah Gorda and Whiteville are right there, 15 minutes from each
So you
other.
probably played in some great high school games, I would think too.
I actually never got to play against like any of those teams.
Oh, really?
Yeah, since they're 1A teams, and I was.
Oh, right. Did you do the travel circuit coming up as well? I remember hearing your name as far as showcase baseball. I didn't get to see you pitch. I went to Winston-Salem when the Dirtbags played the Canes. And you were part of...
Yeah, I was on the team at that point, but I didn't get to play at all.
Yeah, and I think I saw Cadell there. There was a lot of guys that became household names for ECU fans coming up playing for those organizations. Gavin Williams joining us in the Pirate Radio studios. Let's get a break in. We'll come back. We'll talk about Gavin's career at ECU, his best memories, moments as a Pirate, what it was like to win that regional game against Charlotte, and of course Maryland, and then playing in the Super Regionals against Vanderbilt. Update from Omaha: last chance for the Tennessee Volunteers. It is 8-4 in the top of the ninth. Nobody out, but Tennessee down to their final 3 outs. We got more with Gavin Williams. If you want to get a question or comment in, you can do so on Facebook Live or on Twitter. More to go on Pirate Radio Live. We're back with you after this.
White Claw Hard Seltzer. A wave of refreshment. Crafted using our unique Brew Pure process. Made pure. Nothing tastes like White Claw Hard Seltzer.
White Claw Hard Seltzer. Available in 5 fruit flavors, 2 grams of carbs, gluten-free, and 100 calories. Find it at whiteclaw.com. White Claw Hard Seltzer. Nothing tastes quite like it.
Proudly distributed by Coastal Beverage.
Please drink responsibly.
Hey Pirate fans, this is Cliff Godwin. Summer is here and I want to invite your son to attend Cliff Godwin Youth Camps. We will offer 3 sessions the weeks of June 28th, July 12th, and July 26th. All camps will be held at Clark LeClaire Stadium, and campers will get baseball instruction from members of the 2021 ECU baseball team. Campers will also play games, and each camp ends with our famous Pirate Slip and Slide. Full day and half day sessions are offered. For more information, visit cliffgodwinbaseballcamp.com. See you there. Go Pirates.
Introducing Tommy Club, the best car wash value anywhere. Starting at just $19.99 a month, you can wash your car as often as you like, and also take advantage of our express lanes exclusively for Tommy Club members. You can enjoy a gentle belt conveyor ride to a spot-free shine faster and as often as you like when you're a member of Tommy Club. Plus, our vacuums and mat washers are always free. We're Tommy's Express.
Tommy's Express Wash, now open on the corner of Greenville Boulevard and Red Banks Road in Greenville. In studio today with Tony Edwards from AG Home Solutions. And Tony, you love to help people remodel spaces or even do new construction.
We do, and we also can help people find financing when they want to do projects like this. And so we partner with folks like Joey Barrow with Annie Mac Mortgage.
And Joey's in studio with us as well. And Joey, people have a lot of financing questions to be able to help reach the home of their dreams, whether it's remodel or new construction.
No matter how large or small the project may be, we have options for you. Even if you have credit concerns, we provide guidance to help you get the home of your dream or turn the home that you currently have into the home of your dream.
Joey, how can folks get up with you?
You can call call us today at 917-8400, or you can go to our website at greenville.annie-mac.com.
And Tony, what about if people have renovation questions? How can they get up with AG Home Solutions?
You can contact us at 947-2526 or check out our website at aghomesolutions.com.
Thanks again to Tony Edwards from AG Home Solutions and Joey Barrow from Annie Mac Mortgage joining us today.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is proud ECU graduate and former baseball player Brandon Manning inviting you to join my team at Farm Bureau Insurance. Right now is a good time to review your coverage with a local trusted agent like me. I will make myself available before or after business hours, and my clients always have my cell phone number if they need anything. From home, auto, or life, give me a call today and let's talk about your insurance coverage and about the Pirates. Call 531-1812 and go Pirates!
Have you ever seen those exotic aquariums like the guys do in Las Vegas on television? You ever thought about having one of these aquariums in your business? It's more affordable than you think. This is Hal Pruitt with rentafishtank.com. We can make having an aquarium in your business turnkey with no work, cleaning, or hassles for you. Rentafishtank.com creates a relaxing atmosphere and keeps children occupied. Rentafishtank.com already services many dental, pediatric, and doctor offices, plus hospitals and senior living centers. Check us out at rentafishtank.com.
At US Cellular, we see our customers as more than just customers. They're neighbors. When you switch to US Cellular, you can get the new Samsung Galaxy S21 5G for free with no hidden requirements. As a neighbor, you deserve it. US Cellular, America's locally grown wireless. Terms apply. See uscellular.com for details.
This is Brandon Tate, owner and operator of Atlantic Wireless, an authorized agent for US Cellular since 1997. Visit atlanticwireless.com to find the store near you. We go beyond the call.
Pirate Radio.
You know, for having such a bleak outlook on pirates, you're well on your way to becoming one.
The voice of the Pirate Nation. You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. Do you need custom t-shirts, apparel, or promotional items for your business, organization, or event? Keep it local. Print it local with University Sportswear. Contact them today at universitysportswearenc.com. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. At Angel Oak, they continue to make customer service the number one priority. A local mortgage advisor is the key to your transaction success. The combination of their local team's experience and Angel Oak's wide offerings of products from standard conventional, government, and portfolio loans has something for every financial situation. For more information, call Talbot Green, Joanne Weir, or Wanda Hager at 751-2060 today. Let's head back into Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Brock.
All right, Chandler Honeycutt filling in for Shirley Rhodes this week on the audio production side of things, which means Glenn Griffin filling in for Chandler Honeycutt. On the video side of things, we're going full staff. Johnny Holstaff week.
There we go.
Here at Pirate Radio. Gavin Williams joining us in the Pirate Radio studios. Gavin, I asked if it was all right if you've been watching these games, because as a fan, sometimes when my team loses, I'll just completely turn off the sport and not watch anymore. But how about as a player? After you lose in a super regional, do you continue to watch what's going on in college baseball?
Yeah, I definitely do continue to watch, see who wins it. So it's always fun to see who wins.
So what were you thinking watching Vandy, the team that knocked off ECU, take on NC State, a rival from ECU, watching that last night? Like, did you have a rooting interest, or were you just watching it?
I would say I was just watching it, really, see what really happens.
How about the pitcher's duel last night? You had to appreciate that.
Yeah, it was actually really good. I love watching that.
Your performance in Nashville was awesome, and you gave ECU every opportunity to win that game, which is what you want out of a starting pitcher, and really went toe-to-toe with Kumar Rocker, although, I mean, you're not facing him, you're facing the Vandy batters. But how are you able to keep your emotions, have such a great performance on a huge stage like that?
I just thought to myself, it's another baseball game, really. Can't really look at the name on the jersey. The more you look at that, it's like the worse you're going to really do.
And just a great performance by you on that day. I made I tweeted after the Charlotte game that's really the first time all year that Gavin needed some help out of the bullpen, because not only have you been awesome all year, you had amazing run support all year. It was almost crazy how many runs ECU would score off the opposing team's ace on a Friday. So you got that run support all year. And when you battled through against the 49ers, how great was it, though, to see your guys pick you up when you left that game, to see the bullpen keep ECU in the game, and then, of course, the comeback happened?
It was actually amazing to watch that. I mean, I always knew we could do that, and then just to watch it, it was honestly awesome.
Yeah, you had great seats to a fantastic comeback. Worrell had to hit down the line, and then Lane Hoover scoring two, and the Pirates come back to win. And again, Gavin, you kind of missed it in 2021, and you didn't get to play a lot in 2020, but to have those fans back, do you notice it when you're on the mound, what's happening around you in the stands, or is it more so maybe when you're in the dugout? Like, well, what's it like to play in front of that full crowd?
Oh, you definitely notice it more when you're in the dugout, like especially on Bryson's hit and Lane Hoover's hit.
Yeah.
It's probably the loudest I've ever heard it, especially after the 19 regional.
It was certainly rocking, and it was awesome to see. How about, Gavin, let's go back to the start against Campbell in the Greenville Regional from years ago, and ECU had to battle back from the losers bracket. It was a great feeling for Pirate fans, I'm sure, to know that pitching the deciding game was Gavin Williams. I remember you were hitting 100, 99, 101 on the gun. How jacked was a younger Gavin Williams to be pitching in that big moment?
I was actually really excited, especially when I hit 100. I really knew I hit 100 because everybody behind the home plate was pointing at the scoreboard. So that's when I really had to turn my head and look.
That's pretty cool that you could recognize that in the moment while you're so focused on things. Do you remember, like, was it a different feeling pitching in that one than pitching 2 years later? You're 2 years older against Charlotte, against Vanderbilt, or I don't know. Have you always kind of had the same mindset throughout your career here?
I was definitely more calm in the second regional. I was definitely used to it. I knew what to expect. I knew the fans were going to be loud.
So you do kind of grow as a pitcher in those moments, and I'm sure once you make your minor league debut, your big league debut, you'll hopefully be even more calm. Although I don't know, man, have you dreamed about stuff like that growing up?
Oh yeah, I think everybody dreams about that, especially when you play baseball.
Yeah, and hopefully that moment will come true, and we'll hear the name certainly on draft night as Gavin Williams and Connor Norby going to hear his name called. How about the year he had in 2021?
It's definitely awesome to watch Norby do what he did.
We look back on it because I had Brickhouse on recently, and I was looking at the numbers from that 2019 season. Norby hit like 194, and it goes to show that you just because you come in and don't set the world on fire with your stats, you get better as a player, you grow as a player, and for him to hit over 400, not only in 2020 in a small sample size, but what he did this year, just incredible.
Yeah, it's definitely incredible what he did this year.
How did your game grow, Gavin, in your opinion, over the years as a Pirate? What did you improve on, you think, since you first got here?
Probably the biggest thing is command, really, and then developing an all-speed pitch. I had more than just a fastball this year, so that definitely helped out a lot.
I hear the word like command. What does command mean to you? What does that mean when they say this guy's kind of struggling with command, this guy's on his command? What does that mean?
Being able to put the fastball wherever you want it. So the more you miss, your command's not there.
Yeah, and that gets to you a little bit, and it can unravel from there. So Norby had a fantastic year. We talked about him growing as a player here. Who, Gavin, and I asked this to Bridges and Colmore, I'll get your take on it. Who are some of the pitchers maybe we didn't see a lot of this year that you think are going to have big-time futures here at ECU? Anybody come to mind?
I would say Josh Groves and then Danny Bill, really. Carson Wisenhunt, those are going to be the big three. Then also Tony Ginn.
How about Wisenhunt and his performance in Nashville for the young kid? It was a little bit like you, I guess, facing Campbell in that big moment, and it looked like the moment wasn't too big for him on that day in Nashville. He was great.
Oh yeah, he was definitely calm the whole time. He had me coming up between innings, asking who was up, like in the lineup and stuff like that. So definitely having that and him getting that experience is gonna go a long ways for him.
So you guys as pitchers do have plans as far as, and you want to know who's coming up, what does this guy hit? You guys talk about that during games?
Yeah, we between innings, everybody will just go up. So whoever's keeping the chart, they'll go up to him. But you got to learn the pitcher. Like, I know some pitchers don't like that, and some pitchers do. So you just got to learn who likes it and who doesn't.
Yeah, and here's something we talked about too with Bridges and Colmore, and they kind of said that the technology available to players now, it's there. They called it like a buffet. Like, you want to use some of it, you can. If you don't have to take it. What's your philosophy on the old school method of pitching, and also all the new the sabermetrics, all the technology with baseball now? How do you use that?
I mean, I like both, really. I mean, sometimes I want to use it, and sometimes I want to stay away from it, really.
What does spin rate teach you? Well, like, what is, when you look at that, can it help you? Can it also hurt you if you look at it too much?
Honestly, I don't really look at it. I mean, for the hitters, it can help you, because the higher your spin rate is, the more it's going to like get up onto you. You're going to have to swing over the baseball.
So it's more, the hitters can use it more so maybe than pitchers.
Yeah,
sometimes.
Definitely.
Texas is a winner, so that means Tennessee is done in Omaha. So Texas survives. Coming up tonight, it'll be Mississippi State and Virginia live in Omaha. And Gavin, we saw you and Cliff Godwin exchanging a hug there at the end. A lot of emotions, and saw Tyler Smith in the post game, Bridges and Colmore, those guys playing their last games at ECU. And what is going through your head at a time like that when it all comes to an end?
Honestly, I really didn't know at the time. Couldn't really think, because everybody wanted to win. Like, everybody thought this year was our year to go.
Yeah.
And then going and just losing wasn't the best feeling ever.
Kind of a shock to you at that point.
A shock.
And like everybody says, we're going to get there. We just don't know when it's going to happen. But and hopefully Cliff Godwin is here. Gavin, you want to break any news? You know where Cliff Godwin's going to be coaching next year?
He's going to be with the Pirates. So.
All right, there you go. Gavin Williams reporting that Cliff Godwin will be back with ECU. Gavin, how different was it? You hear about this with quarterbacks when they have to play with different offensive coordinators. Like as a old Redskins fan, Jason Campbell had a different offensive coordinator like his first 7 years of football or whatever, and it just stunts your growth a little bit. Maybe different with a pitcher and a pitching coach, but going from Dan Rozelle to Jason Dietrich, how are they similar? How are they different? And how did that affect you at all?
I mean, it didn't really affect me. You still have to go out there and pitch. I mean, we're not learning a new offense at all. Like football. You're just going out there. You got the same mechanics and everything.
Not a big deal at all. And I'm sure they do similar and different things, but not a big deal to you?
No, not a big deal at all.
Yeah. Gavin Williams joining us inside the Pirate Radio studios. Gavin, we talked about, some of your big stage performances. What, when you look back on your career at ECU, is there a game that sticks out to you as your favorite?
Probably the Vandy game, really. Just always growing up and watching them, and then finally get to pitch against them is pretty awesome.
Did you have an opportunity at all to, and you probably didn't want to because they're the enemy that week, but do you know Rocker or Leiter or any of those guys? Have you ever interacted with them?
Never really interacted with them, but after the game, we're just walking back over to the hotel, and I just stopped by and just congratulated all of them.
Yeah, and they, again, are putting on a show in Omaha. Rocker got hit a little bit, but the offense for Vanderbilt woke up in game one. Last night, it was Leiter and NC State going toe-to-toe, and the Wolfpack able to win with a solo bomb. Looked a lot like Josh Moylan's bomb that he hit.
Oh, yeah, I'd say Josh Moylan hit a little bit farther.
He's a big fella. You're a big fella, Gavin, but man, how about the size of that young freshman?
He's definitely a little bit bigger than me, I'd say. Probably not height-wise, but everywhere else.
Yeah, he's a big fella, and he's got a bright future ahead of him coming up with the Pirates. And, well, it's interesting to see what happens in these drafts because you never know about a guy like Thomas Francisco. Is he going to be back? Is he going to get drafted? And that's a decision guys have to make, and there's going to be a few of those Pirates having to make those decisions this year, Gavin.
Oh, yeah. Honestly, I don't really know. Don't really know what other teams are thinking. But if I had to say, they'd be picked up, really.
The facing a guy like Franny, you have those power guys like Moylan, but Francisco hits the ball all over the field. It reminds me, as a Braves fan, of Freddie Freeman, who can hit the home run, but can also just tap it to the left side for a base hit. That's almost got to be more frustrating than facing the power guys, right?
Yeah, especially Franny when he taps it over to the left side of the field.
Yeah.
It really gets on your nerves. It's like, how do you get him out? So
Is he the toughest teammate? I guess you saw a little bit of Packard and Burley and those guys too, right? Who was the toughest to get out in those purple gold games or those practices?
Definitely, I would say Franny and Norby this year were probably the two toughest to get out.
Have you been following what Burley and those guys have been doing in minor league baseball? Like, it's been incredible to see Burleson's rise, Packard's red hot, ton of Pirates right now playing minor league baseball.
Yeah, it's actually been very impressive what Burley's been doing this year, especially the way he's been hitting. I feel like every time I get on Twitter, he's hitting another home run. I think he's up to like 10 or 11 right now.
Yeah, and he's rising up the ranks, went from high A to double A, and if he keeps hitting like this, he's going to continue to make that leap throughout the minor leagues. Talking to Gavin Williams here in the Pirate Radio studios. All right, I asked the other guys this because Bryant Packard told me that he hated South Florida back in the day. Colmore hates Tulane. Bridges kind of agreed with that. So who is your biggest foe, Gavin, would you say?
I'd probably say Tulane because they gave me an earful the whole time I was pitching.
Oh, yeah? So what is the chatter like during a game like that? What are they saying to you?
I mean, what aren't they saying is the thing.
That's something you can't talk about really on the air. Do you we see you get excited and kind of more so, I guess, talking to your teammates. Do you ever return the trash talk out there?
I can't talk about that.
I'll take that as a yes, but so it's got to make you feel good to I guess you do your talking with the arm, right? Strike a guy out.
Yeah,
maybe look over there a little bit.
No, I learned my lesson a few years ago, I guess freshman year.
Wait, what happened? Remind me.
Nah, that's pretty bad. So I learned my lesson.
Now I got to think about
against South Florida.
Oh no, and then a ball was hit.
Yeah, hit it off the scoreboard.
Wow. Yeah, okay, you're right. We'll move on from that. Gavin Williams joining us, and how about the theatrics after a home run? Like, do you think that it's good for the game if a guy hits a dinger, he flips the bat, doesn't say anything to you, kind of looks to his sideline, his bench, his dugout, and riles the boys up? Or do you think a guy should hit a home run and just run around the bases, not say anything? As a pitcher, how do you feel about it?
I mean, if he hits a home run off of me, he can do whatever he wants.
Yeah.
He earned it. So.
Your job to get him out?
Yeah, most definitely.
And as a pitcher, if you get a little fired up after a strikeout, the batter has to deal with that.
Yeah.
That's kind of your philosophy on it? I feel like that is becoming more so the philosophy of if a guy does pimp a home run, you don't just earhole him the next at bat, you strike him out, right?
Yeah, most definitely.
That's kind of the philosophy of it. Gavin Williams joining us today inside the Pirate Radio studios. Gavin, let's do a little Troy D here. We'll get to know Gavin a little bit. Let's see, like we'll start with your favorite food. What's Gavin's go-to meal?
I'd probably say a steak and shrimp.
All right, a little surf and turf. Can't go wrong with that.
Not at all.
Who's your favorite pitcher to watch in big league baseball? Who are some of your favorite players?
Probably DeGrom and Cole.
Garrett Cole.
Yeah.
All the guys saying DeGrom, and he mowed down the Braves in pretty good fashion last night. Did you have a favorite team growing up? Baseball team?
Not really. I love them all.
All right.
I just like watching the game,
and especially who the team that's going to be drafting you coming up next month. How about television wise? Favorite TV show? You watch anything right now?
Don't really watch anything at all.
So what do you do? What are your hobbies?
Well, most of the time I'm at the field.
So baseball is going to be your job and also your hobby.
Oh yeah,
hunting, fishing, any of that?
A little bit of hunting. I didn't do too much this year. I was just worried about working out and throwing. Really.
Yeah. Okay. So I don't know. Movie? Have you ever watched a movie?
I watch movies. But I really don't have a favorite one. I'd say probably Summer Catch. Pretty nice. Pretty
okay.
Good.
A little baseball movie there. What do you listen to music wise?
A little bit of everything, honestly. Don't really have a favorite genre of music.
So I'm out of touch. I had to ask Glenn, is the 3, is that like a Chance the Rapper thing?
Chance the Rapper hat.
Which I couldn't tell you one song. I just happened to know about that. But yeah, I don't know if it's not like Tupac, Biggie, Outkast. I'm a little out on it. I've aged out of that genre. So you listen to a little bit of everything. Well, it sounds like you're baseball.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
That's life.
Oh yeah,
that's what it is. All right, I don't know, Chandler. Anything you want to know about Gavin Williams?
Gavin said he was a golfer before he came on the show.
What? How's your golf game?
I'm a golfer.
I think he said he was a bad golfer, actually.
I'm pretty bad.
Is that something? Well, look, a lot of pitchers, like John Smoltz, famously,
Well, let's
great golfer.
Let's go play golf sometime, Gavin. We'll see who's really bad because I'm not any good.
You just want to tell people you beat Gavin Williams in something.
He probably beat me.
Well,
I don't know about that. I'm pretty bad. I'm not that good at all.
Well, you're going to have some free time on your hands as a baseball player, so you can play on your off day. What's your? I'm sure you got a good drive, right? You can drive it pretty far.
That's what I was
imagine.
thinking.
Yeah, I can drive it. It's just like the irons and the putting.
Yeah.
Once I get on the green, it's probably about 4 or 5 putting.
So you better get there quick.
Yeah,
because this might go south.
If it's a putter length, it's in for me. So that's going to say it's in.
And he uses a tall putter just to get some extension on it.
That's a gimme. That's a gimme.
That's a gimme.
Dude, it's like 5 feet from the hole.
Well, that's Gavin headed to the next tee box. Oh, that's a gimme. That's he can chip that in. That's easy. All right, let's take another timeout. I'll tell you what, Chandler, as we do, let's open up the Pirate Radio booty bag and make somebody a winner.
Booty, 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 booty everywhere. Booty, 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 booty everywhere.
All right, 317-1250. We're going to go Hungry Pirate. Grab your amigos and head to Chico's. You can enjoy your favorites like shrimp tacos, steak and chicken fajitas, burritos, enchiladas, ACP, and more. Chico's, for Mexican food and fun. It's got to be Chico's. A Hungry Pirate can be yours. What caller you want to do, Chandler?
Let's go number 8.
All right, caller 8, 317-1250. We'll have our winner and more with Gavin Williams when we return after this.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is Tom Brown from Brown & Wood Buick GMC Truck. We've been serving the Pirate Nation in Eastern North Carolina for 83 years. We have 4 brands, 3 generations, 2 showrooms, and 1 goal to make sure you leave a happy customer.
This month at Brown & Wood, get an all-new Buick Enclave 2021 and save over $6,800 or 0% for 72 months. As always, Brown & Wood is the home of the lifetime powertrain warranty.
We're located on Greenville Boulevard next to the Convention Center, or shop us online at brownandwoodauto.com.
To some, that may just sound like ice hitting heavy-duty plastic. But to a Bud Light legend, it's a signal that says it's time. Time to dust off the barbecue tongs and load up the cooler with 37 Bud Lights and an assortment of dips. Because it's time to take back all the fun we've missed. Welcome back, Bud Light legends. Let's take summer by the coolers. Cooler up at BudLightLegends.com. Enjoy responsibly. 2021 AB Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
In studio today with Aquaman, also known as Alan Nielsen to his friends and family, YF3.
It's the glue that brings me together in the morning. I see a lot of friendships developing. I got a lot of great buddies that I work out with in the morning. We also can have a positive influence on the community, and I just think it's a great thing to do.
1 letter, 1 number, F3. Learn more today at f3enc.com.
Hey Pirate fans, this is Coach Cliff Godwin. The physicians at Orthopedics East and Sports Medicine Center have been caring for our athletes at ECU for more than 35 years. Whether it's treatment for our sports injury or it's time for that joint replacement, Orthopedics East provides the latest in operative and non-operative orthopedic care, physical therapy, and diagnostic testing. For experienced and professional services, call the team at Orthopedics East at 252-757-2663 or visit them online at orthoeast.com. Go Pirates!
Guess what, Greenville? Calzones are back. Community Calzone is the only restaurant in town specializing in calzones. Choose from over 50 different calzones, or you design your own with unlimited options, including vegetarian. Community Calzone also features wings, huge salads, and more. Plus, they deliver to almost everywhere in Pitt County. Located on Greenville Boulevard next to Ashley Furniture Warehouse, they're open for lunch, dinner, and late night for dine-in, pickup, or delivery. It's Community Calzone.
At US Cellular, we see our customers as more than just customers. They're neighbors. When you switch to US Cellular, you can get the new Samsung Galaxy S21 5G for free with no hidden requirements. As a neighbor, you deserve it. U.S. Cellular, America's locally grown wireless. Terms apply. See uscellular.com for details.
Does the idea of going to your local U.S. Cellular store make you feel a bit uncomfortable? Tired of the hassle of waiting and wearing a mask? Let Toby Williams and his outside sales team take away that worry. They will come right to your home or office and drop your phone off on the porch or at the front desk for you. Saving you time and worry is what the team at Cellular Warehouse is all about. Call Toby today at 252-799-7051 and let them help you with all of your wireless needs. Cellular Warehouse, your local U.S. Cellular authorized agent.
Hey Birdland, Orioles 2021 single game tickets are on sale now for all games June through September at Orioles.com/tickets. Single game options are flexible and affordable with individual tickets starting as low as $15. You can choose from popular promo dates and fan favorite giveaways, including bobbleheads, t-shirts, caps, and more. Simply select your dates and purchase tickets now at Orioles.com/tickets. That's single game tickets as low as $15. Available to all fans now at Orioles.com/tickets.
This is Touchdown Tony Collins, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. Do you need custom t-shirts, apparel, or promotional items for your business, organization, or event? Keep it local. Print it local with University Sportswear. Contact them today at universitysportswearenc.com. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back to the show. For the latest breaking news, interesting stories, and awesome contests that can make you a winner, be sure to follow Pirate Radio on our social media on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at PR927FM. Join the close to 50,000 followers today at PR927FM. Now let's head back into Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Cliff Rock.
All right, back with you on Pirate Radio Live here on a, what are we on, Tuesday?
Tuesday.
It is a Tuesday. Wood Ducks Wednesday coming up tomorrow. We got some tickets to go see the Down East Wood Ducks. You can see some of the future stars of tomorrow in the Texas Rangers organization. And then coming up in July, we'll find out where the Connor Norby, Gavin Williams, and others will be going in the draft. Scott, our resident Baltimore fan, said he hopes the Orioles draft you. Gavin, I'm sure you don't have a preference at this point, right? You'll go anywhere.
I'll go anywhere, really.
Was it the Rays that drafted you out of high school?
Yeah, the Rays did draft me out of high school.
What round was that? Do you remember?
I want to say it was the 30th.
Okay, so you're going to go a little higher than that in this year's draft. The Rays would be pretty cool. We could watch you in Durham, perhaps, but. We'll find out in July where Gavin Williams goes as he wraps up his career at East Carolina. Gavin, we've got to know Cliff Godwin over the years, having him on the show and talking with him. How has he affected you as a player and really as a man being in his program the last few years?
I would definitely say he's made me a lot tougher and a better person now.
I asked Bridges and Colmore this. I'll ask you. How does that relationship change with Cliff as a scrawny little freshman when you come in, and as as one of the aces on the staff? Bridges said that what was he running the boneyard and about giving out as a freshman, and you get kind of used to it. You get mentally tougher, physically tougher. Did that same thing happen to you?
Yeah, the same thing definitely did happen to me.
What and those winter workouts, summer workouts, they get a little easier after a while.
Oh, yeah, you definitely get used to them. You know what to expect. Coming in as a freshman, you're like, oh, don't really want to do this. You get kind of scared.
And then you get used to it. It becomes nothing after a while. But, man, Cliff, he's an intense guy. You seem kind of laid back. How'd y'all's personalities? Y'all get together, get along great?
You definitely learn people as the years go on.
Yeah.
I guess he learned me a little bit.
So Jake Agnos famously went after Cliff when he got pulled out of a game. He was about to have the complete game. He's talked about that on the air before. Jake's a little more outspoken than you, I think.
Yeah.
All the Agnoses are, I guess. Did you ever go back at Cliff on anything that he said?
Absolutely not.
You chuckled when I brought up that Jake moment. What did you guys say to Jake after that? Are you crazy? Or
I thought it was kind of funny after the moment, but kind of laugh at a lot of things, and that was pretty funny to me.
Yeah, and to both their credits, and they've kind of both talked about it, like Jake wanted to finish the game. Cliff didn't want Jake's arm to fall off and thought about his future. So you kind of see both sides of it, right?
Yeah, you definitely see both sides.
And I don't know, for you, like probably every game of your career, but how many times did you get pulled from a game where to yourself you're thinking, man, I could go another 5 innings? Like, or do you know, are you kind of mature enough as a pitcher to know when you've tapped out?
As the years go on, you definitely learn your body a lot better.
Yeah.
I knew in the Vanderbilt game, I knew I was done.
You went 100 plus in that one, right?
I think like 110, something like that. So.
And you figured that. And last night, heck, Leiter got up to the 110, 110s maybe.
No, I think it was like 125.
Was it 120s? Yeah. And did you watch the Cops kid from Arkansas?
Yeah, he was absolutely gross this year.
And
know how he did it.
They ran him out there as a closer and had him go 130 pitches or whatever against NC State. Of course, the Wolfpack able to win and advance, and they don't play again until Friday. Coming up tonight in Omaha, it'll be Mississippi State taking on Virginia. So, Gavin, just a lot of working out, and that's it for you coming up, right?
That's it right now.
And you said that's like perfect.
That's fine with me.
you enjoy that. So, and you will be graduating officially after you said you have to do an internship.
Yeah, just got to do an internship and I'll be done.
So that's a great feeling too. That you are that close. You'll have your degree. What are you going to get your degree in?
Criminal justice.
And do you know after your baseball career how you will use that, or just something good to have, hold on to? You know,
at this point, it's something good to have.
Yeah. Do you see yourself, and again, you're going to have a lengthy career, but do you want to stay in baseball after that or use your degree, or is that something you've even thought about? Like, you want to go into coaching, or?
I'm going to definitely stay in the baseball, really.
Yeah. Did you play any other sports growing up?
Absolutely not.
Really?
Yeah, I wasn't coordinated enough.
So you were born to pitch, and you also you hit your growth spurt pretty late, right?
Yeah, pretty late. I'd probably say going to sophomore to junior year of high school.
So how tall were you as a freshman?
About 6 foot.
All right, so you were...
Yes. Are you talking about high school?
Yeah.
Yeah, 6 foot probably.
And then you went to, what are you?
6'6".
Okay. So you were tall before. Now you're just like...
Oh, yeah.
A really tall. You went from a shooting guard to a power forward.
Something like that.
Something like that. All right. Well, Gavin, thanks for hanging out with us, man. It's been great to not only watch you pitch, but get to know you a little bit and also have you on the show today. We wish you nothing but the best of luck, and look forward to watching your career. We do our best to keep up with what every former Pirate is doing, because I know people around here, once you leave, they still want to know what's going on with Burley, what's going on with Brickhouse, Krasinski, all the guys, and just
Packard.
like you. Yeah, all of them, man. It's great to keep up with you guys. We'll keep up with your career, man.
Yes, sir. Appreciate y'all having me.
Gavin Williams, ECU ace, joining us today on Pirate Radio Live. Let's take our final time out. We will come back, wrap it up, let you know what's on tap for Wednesday's edition of PRL when we return after this.
The Pirate Radio Podcast.
Former Atlanta Braves outfielder Terry Harper.
Well, Hank was the minor league director when I was coming up. A lot of times he used to give me a ride home after the game, and we would just talk baseball as far as fundamentals. He didn't really talk a whole lot about that. We mostly just talk about the mental side of hitting.
Listen to every Pirate Radio podcast now by visiting our podcast channel and subscribing in Apple iTunes or SoundCloud. The Pirate Radio Podcast is powered by White Claw Hard Seltzer, proudly distributed by Coastal Beverage.
The convenience of Pitt Greenville Airport is waiting just outside your front door. Service is back, so you're connected to destinations worldwide through flights from American Airlines. Plan your next trip. Book your flights today at flypgv.com or aa.com.
Ready to travel and take a trip this summer? Avoid the long check-in lines and congestion at the big airports and fly local at PGV. Fast, convenient, and close to home, PGV has recently added more American Airlines flights. Book today at aa.com. PGV, where the pirates fly.
At Tiebreakers, we pride ourselves on serving
big, juicy wings.
I'm talking
big and juicy.
Our chickens are the same ones that kick sand in the other chickens' faces. If our chickens played football, they'd be linebackers. The competition's chickens, they'd be
skinny little kickers.
Trade those kickers in for linebackers.
Tiebreakers is open every day at 11 a.m. Follow Tiebreakers on Facebook and Instagram for daily updates.
Hi, I'm Annalie Newhoff.
And I'm Rob Campbell.
And we are with CopyPro. We have been locally owned and operated here in Eastern North Carolina for almost 50 years. CopyPro is the leader in office technology.
Does your business struggle with keeping printing costs low or producing professional documents? Here at CopyPro, total customer satisfaction is our #1 priority.
We have a variety of solutions to help reduce your printing expenses and make your business more productive. Call us today at 1-800-682-6558 or online at copypro.net.
CopyPro, we are the professional office systems people.
This is Mark Washington with Max Sports Performance at Max Fitness. Our facility has reopened and is following all safety protocols. The best thing you can do to strengthen your immune system is, of course, to work out and exercise on a regular basis. I can assist you as your performance coach. You can also enjoy the benefits of a private facility. Avoid the crowds and work out at Max Fitness. Now is the time to get healthy. Max Fitness, just off Highway 43 in the old Ace Hardware Building behind Speedway in Greenville. Call me, Mark Washington, 902-4877.
For years, Callie Ann Phelps has been singing about Phelps Chevrolet.
Phelps Chevrolet is the one for you. Low prices, service too. See the big dealer right away. Carolina's finest, Phelps Chevrolet.
And you'll agree with what Skylar Phelps has to say.
Nobody beats Phelps Chevrolet's prices. Nobody.
Name you can depend on. Phelps Chevrolet.
Get Sean.
Find new roads with Chevrolet. Then come find yours at Phelps Chevrolet in Greenville.
The icy treat that can't be beat is Sparky Snowballs. From big kids to little kids, Sparky Snowballs has been making smiles happen for over 20 years. If you're not in the mood to chill out with a snowball, Sparky's funnel cakes and fried Oreos are a perfect Sparky-licious treat every time. Look for Sparky Snowballs location at the Food Truck Rodeo on the corner of Evans Street and Fire Tower Road, and remember to follow Sparky's on Facebook or visit SparkySnowballs.com.
This is Stephen Igoe. You've heard from me plenty on Pirate Radio Live and perhaps have read some of my work on HoistTheColors.net. Now, get an extension of our in-depth coverage on the Hoist the Colors podcast. From game previews to immediate post-game analysis to emergency podcasts for breaking news, we've got you covered. A cast of guest co-hosts from fans, former coaches, and other writers join me for 2 podcasts weekly to break down all things ECU athletics. Subscribe to Hoist the Colors now on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or Google Podcasts. This is Stephen Igoe, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. Do you need custom t-shirts, apparel, or promotional items for your business, organization, or event? Keep it local. Print it local with University Sportswear. Contact them today at universitysportswearenc.com. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Quality Equipment is your full service John Deere. Let's do that again. Quality Equipment is your full-service John Deere dealer with 28 locations to serve you. Quality Equipment is open in Winterville next to Sam's Club, or visit QualityEquip.com to find the location near you. Now let's head back into Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Brock.
Alrighty, back with you on a Tuesday edition of Pirate Radio Live. Great show today. Thanks to Steve Cotton, Steve Igoe, Steve Weaver, and Gavin Williams for joining me on the show. We will have Tyler Smith on next week, talk to another former Pirate, and also going to reach out to Connor Norby and get him on the program. Gavin told me Connor has nothing going on. He's not doing anything right now.
I just saw Cliff Godwin tweet out about an hour ago or so that 2 guys that we had on the program last week, Cam Colmore and Matt Bridges, have locked, I guess, summer jobs.
Okay.
So congratulations to those 2.
Yeah, they're a package deal. They live together. They come on the show together.
And they go to work together.
They were talking about a job opportunity they had to both work together. So,
and we were thinking like they just knew each other since they got here together at ECU, which was a long time ago. But they
should have just gave him a show.
I know.
They were talking about 2013 that they go back, almost 10 years. So
I was thinking of I got a title if I could be a part of that show. Two Studs and a Dud.
I like it.
Yeah. I don't know what we would talk about, but I think it'd be a good show.
I like it.
Pretty good. All right, coming up Wednesday on the show, we'll talk some South Carolina football with Tommy Suggs. He's the color analyst. And also, we'll run of South Carolina. We'll also run our interviews with RV and Jason Mills. We were going to run those today, but the game got moved to Wednesday, so we'll have those coming up on Wednesday. Mully will join us, the voice Jeff Charles, and Bryce Williams. We got a full Wednesday show planned for you here at Pirate Radio. Also, we'll be recording Pirate Radio Trivia with Troy D and Jenny Shelton.
It's going to be so chaotic.
Epic.
Man.
So chaotic.
Got the questions ready to go. They both have specialty categories.
They both have tried to pry information out of me because they know I have the answers.
Oh, really?
I have not given anybody anything.
I know you wouldn't, but it's shame on them.
I have not.
Oh, Troy did too?
I have not given anything out.
Did Troy try to pry questions from you
too? There have been attempts.
Well, yeah, I know one contestant that was trying to.
Yeah, let's have some integrity,
I
guys.
went through the ringer today. I think it's going to be fair for both contestants. I think it's going to be fun.
Chandler the questions,
I think I did pretty well. In fact, I think I would have beat both of them.
Probably so. We shall see.
It should be fun, though.
We put it on rookie mode.
So yeah, most of them are, I would say.
We almost had a breaking news moment here as we ended the show.
Yeah,
Glenn, I got fooled for 3 seconds by a fake Kendall Rogers account on Twitter that said Tommy Vitello, the Tennessee coach, had taken the LSU job.
Let's break it like it happened. So Glenn, we're just during the break, and Glenn says, "We got
yes,
the search is over.
The search is over.
LSU's coach's search is over. They hired the Tennessee guy. We got this breaking news when we get back." It's like, wait, from who?
And it happened like in 5 seconds. Like in 5, I knew.
It's a fake Kendall Rogers account.
Yeah,
he said,
I've got got.
I got. It's fake Kendall Rogers. It looks pretty good. Fake account. They got me.
It did get me. The whole bio was copy and pasted. I mean, the picture was right. It looked good.
All right.
I got got.
But if news does happen, oh no, now other people are getting got.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's happening.
Everyone's getting got.
Yep, it's happening across Twitter now. All right, Chandler, Glenn, enjoyed it, fellas.
All right, Clipper.
Sup, fellas?
Sup, fellas?
Speaking of, sup, fellas showed up to the Tennessee-Texas game when it was 4-4.
No way.
And immediately,
no way.
Texas went on a run and won that game 8-4.
Is this legit?
Yes.
Oh my God.
He's the Grim Reaper of Omaha. You're done when he shows up.
By the way, Troy says he absolutely did not try to get answers out of Glenn. He wants his
apology.
He wants his name
cleared from the record.
Cleared, yes.
Clear it. There may have been.
Okay, this is between y'all now. Troy says he did not do that.
There was not a direct attempt.
All right. I believe Troy.
There was an attempt at collusion.
Collusion. We'll see you folks Wednesday, 3 o'clock on Pirate Radio Live. So long, everybody.
Thanks for listening to Pirate Radio Live, an exclusive presentation of the voice of the Pirate Nation. This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 and 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington. The following is an exclusive presentation of Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation. Welcome to the Pirate Radio Podcast, featuring special guests discussing a wide range of topics and personal stories. The Pirate Radio Podcast is presented by White Claw Hard Seltzer. Nothing tastes quite like it. Visit whiteclaw.com today. White Claw Hard Seltzer, proudly distributed by Coastal Beverage. Please drink